We're back. It's about after a whole week. Audio levels should not be as fucked as they were after the fact last time. Which,
Fingers crossed.
yeah. So yeah. We shot this guy last time, so we'll shoot this one instead. That should be good.
Kablam!
Oh yeah. Blood Moon.
I already made the joke about the printies last time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other things you could make jokes about that have to do with a blood red moon, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see.
Well, I did start playing Bloodborne again last week, so...
Yeah. Oh yeah, these guys. Dropping in from the sky.
Yeah, the sort of jetpack dudes.
Yeah, we just don't really use them to fly around, it's just to let them make an impactful landing.
Dynamic entry.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh well. Thin blood is still blood.
I forget, this is the first stage in which you need to use Kevin, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a section later on where you do need to use Kevin to get past a certain spot, I believe it is.
Yeah.
This is also where it introduces a pretty devious Heaven Smile type enemy, where it's like, you know, if you're not good at hitting the weak points, get fucked. and which is different from like any of the others, where like the bomb head ones, where it's like if you don't hit the specific spot, you're screwed. It's like, no, they literally will not die unless you shoot them in the weak point. If you try to make them die normally, they just get back up. Ah, the big masochist.
Ronald McDonald.
Mm-hmm. Some might say the real Mayor McCheese.
That explains the grimace.
Mm-hmm. The real Mayor McCheese, who secretly is supplying the Hamburglar to perpetuate crime. Oh, this is probably a bad spot.
Oh, nope, nope.
Why did I think to do that? Like, seriously. Okay, but at least I can do this properly.
You're fucked.
Actually, I just realized something because I think I had, like, forgotten about it. Is, the first puzzle. That...
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there a Travis around here somewhere?
Well, it's specifically I have to remind myself looking at this again. Because of it has to do with the, what was it? The vending machine.
Yeah.
With, like, these vile-sounding canned drinks. Okay, BTJ,
Oh yeah,
CSC.
isn't it bloody tomato juice?
Yep.
Is one of them.
Yep. Then CSC, WTS. Cocksucking cunt and what the shit. Well, at least they do respawn, so that's more opportunities for blood.
You're fucked.
Which is good, because I need one more vial to actually heal.
I only really remember them respawning in Cloudman, or at least that quickly in one area.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit... okay, so we got
yes.
bloody tomato
remember
juice,
Yep.
creamy southern coffee, and wild vegetable tempura.
I remember the Handsome Man Executive Cola now.
Yeah. Yeah, that puzzle's even more ridiculous because it's just like getting like actual like RGB values for different color swatches.
That one was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine was playing it, and she's colorblind, so you can imagine that took her a while.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and to think, because, like, that is the same mission where it basically gives you an out on if you're somehow deaf, you can at least use con to get around the fact that you need to, like, look for where the music's coming from.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Regenerators, but proper this time.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, all of these kind of look like the Regenerators.
Yeah, but these guys in particular.
I gotta keep going back.
Nope.
Oh, just barely.
Whew, that was a close one.
Yeah. Ah, I'm not having very good luck with Coyote right now. Oh, at least there's like a Harmon's room, but it's like I don't have. Yeah, and like this isn't a save room, but I don't think I really have much other blood to work with at the moment to either upgrade or even unlock other characters, because it's like I just want. Yeah, I just need 5 more so I can get Khan back. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, even if you could use Dan.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll make do with what we got. It's a shame too, because I believe like of the 3 that we have right now, we do have Mask the Smith, but it's not like he'd be of any use, I think, against like these poison smiles, because of the reliance on you needing to. Ah, how did I not hear that?
What the hell?
Oh dear, this is a very We're definitely in a tight spot. A very, very tight spot. But hey, at least this is something that we can use Coyote for. His power of unlocking. Which is good, because we need to turn this off for like a later puzzle. Which is in this very same room.
Bomb disarmed.
I swear I heard something.
Any more for any more? Nope.
Oh wait, no, the camera lied to me. I thought it was in this room, but it's not. The puzzle's like in the next one.
Man, this is the worst puppy ever.
Okay, that got him. Okay, that's 2. And 3.
Okay. Starting to get somewhere.
Yeah, can I get some more? It's still only enough for like 1 vial, I guess.
Can I get a little blood here?
Please, for fuck's sake. Oh jeez. Ooh. Yeah, you can really tell I'm very much missing Khan right now. I'd already like boosted his critical stack like so much.
That's the problem with over-reliance on one character. And that would be a flashbang.
Yeah, that was clearly like a micro smile that I just completely forgot was in there.
Oh hey, first time.
Yeah. This is the first, the first of these
Soul
bullets.
shell.
Yep, soul shell, otherwise called a bullet.
Bullet. Yeah.
Whoa, come on.
Oop. 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 Oop.
No, oh my. Really off to like a solid start, I can tell. You know, I'm going back out here because I feel like I'm just need to kill a couple more and I'll just get Khan and be done.
Just get a few easy kills. Go to Malibu, take the week off.
Yeah.
Fucked.
Well, at least you've got some more thin blood.
Yeah.
Fucked.
I'll at least go through here because I think now I have like enough having smiles killed
Should
that
be
I
about
can.
5, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then we can get back in my groove. Because, good grief. Not the best demonstration of my abilities right now. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I might as well. There we go.
Yeah.
Just in time for the reason why Khan is the best. This move right here.
I think, doesn't Kaidi get critical lock on as well?
I forget if she does. I
Because
feel...
I know, I think it's like 3 characters get critical lock.
Maybe. I just know that everyone gets like a different type of lock on that like that targets a different part of the body is the idea. Let's also make an extra save just to be safe.
Yeah.
So besides this embarrassing display, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, you're not the one on the controls. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm not playing Killer7, so, you know, shit's great.
Yeah, you're not playing Killer7 like with the original GameCube controller and having to deal with stick aiming.
Yeah, I'm just like, don't know what the hell you're doing, but I'm just fine.
Yeah, I don't know. So
We actually went into town for like the first time since what? I want to say since about October. So that was kind of fun. Needed to get some new shoes, so I got a couple of pairs of Vans for cheap.
nice.
So that's basically been my day.
Yeah, I've still been staying home. Only really going out when it's to like go to the grocery store, like work, that sort of thing.
Critical lock on is great when it works.
Yeah, it obviously works a lot better when you're like at a certain distance.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that definitely helps it.
As opposed to mutilating that smile by shooting off each of his limbs individually.
Yeah, though that's kind of cool in its own way.
I mean, it's good for a giggle, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like kind of a funny way, I guess, of following up on like what sort of like conversations we had near the end of last stream is because we had gone onto the topic of stuff like Kingdom Hearts 2 of all things.
Yeah.
And that I actually did end up doing a critical playthrough of that entire game over the weekend.
Ah, how did that go for you?
Yeah, it was pretty solid. Yeah, because it was yeah, it is the sort of thing where I'm definitely thankful that's one of the games that runs overall pretty well in PCSX2, just because that's my only way I can go about playing PS2 games at the moment. At least until early July, once I finally get all my stuff out of storage and moved up here.
Yeah, I think they're like with when they're initially creating emulators. Excuse me. Typically, it seems like they've got a short list of games that they want to make sure it works with first.
Yeah, it's like always the
and
ones
then
that
they work
have
it from there.
Yeah, the ones that clearly have like the most popularity at the time. Yeah.
And I'm fairly
Which is a
certain
shame, because
Kingdom
I'm pretty
Hearts
sure
3
that, like, even then, stuff like Silent Hill 2 and 3 still have major issues trying to work properly because of that game's specific sorcery.
I think, I don't know about 3, but I'm fairly certain 2 has been worked on quite dramatically.
Yeah, I guess so.
think-
It probably
I think
is.
it was the last I checked. I think there was problems with the fog rendering because it uses some kind of arcane magic.
Yeah,
So you would see the pop in much more dramatically.
that's true.
Don't know about the third one, but yeah, it's
Yeah, I imagine
fairly
it
certain
would be a case where 3 is the harder one to emulate properly, just because it goes even harder on a lot of the weird transparency effects that Silent Hill 2 was already like taking a lot of advantage of, just putting it to even crazier effect with all like the transitioning to like blood and like rusty materials.
Yeah, I mean, for a game that's, what, 16, 17 years old, it still looks amazing.
Oh, it really does. Yeah. Especially when it's like Silent Hill 3 managed to like look as good as it does without needing to pepper it with like what was it? With like pre-rendered cutscenes or anything, you know?
Yeah, everything was done. Everything except the opening was done in engine.
Yeah, in engine with like some of the absolute best kind of like facial animations you probably saw on a system at that time.
Well, I mean, we compare it to some games now, and it's still beats them hands down.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That should be it. Or did I completely?
It was 9-10 Jack Queen King, yeah.
I'm double checking that. See how much smoother things go when you can just hit L and then A, and they're just done. Let the cards decide.
Yep, 9-10 Jack Queen King. It's Royal Flush, I think.
Yeah.
I can never remember my poker hands.
I'm guessing it's either because I just like turned down the ace, which is the ideal, but It's clear. You know what? Screw it.
Maybe it's what kind of hand beats beats that. So in that case, it would be turn down the 9.
Oh yeah, I was actually about to go back to like Yoon-hoon and just like shoot the mask and just let him.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
we go.
Royal Straight Flush. That's what it is. But yeah, PS2 and emulation. Yeah, like Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix works well on that. The funny thing is that like I had also mentioned that I found like a translated ISO that was able to like fit the like the Japanese dub on it, and basically had like the translation quality by the looks of it was basically just taking everything that had been made official with like the HD re-release.
Oh yeah, just taking the script directly from it. Yeah.
Yeah, for like that and the and obviously the like the menu options. But I ultimately did not end up using it because of one thing that kind of ruined it for me.
Donald Duck.
No, Donald Duck would never ruin it. Same for Goofy. But no, it's because that particular like translation patch also has like a God damn it, I was not paying attention to that. But it has specifically a widescreen hack kind of applied to it.
Oh yeah.
Which is the sort of thing where like the in-game view and perspective is made so that it looks right on 16:9. But the heads-up display is not adjusted to account for it, so those parts are stretched. And it's like, God damn it, I can't stand having one without the other. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think the widescreen hack for Final Fantasy X is like that as well. But it also has, I don't know if they fixed it, but one of the things was that in quite a lot of the cutscenes, like when characters walk into the screen, before that, they're essentially standing off to the side, T-posing.
Oh, I recall seeing something a bit like that during that. I think it was like one of the cutscenes during the prologue where it's like, it wasn't so much the character standing there T-posing so much as they just popped into existence like the moment the camera is about to like pan over in their direction.
Yeah, something like that. So it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's like I just went to like get like the older translation patch from like 10 years ago or something like that, which has a bit of technical issues on that front, but at least it's more playable. For like what I prefer. Though it does lead to some funny instances where like certain text strings were just not translated at all, so all they're left with is their reference number. Like I noticed it when I got to like the cutscene that basically is designed to demonstrate like the whole lingering will, like that boss fight being available. And
did you actually try that?
I did, but like before that, what happened was I saw the hold on. Is there? Yes, there's a Harmon's room. Good, because I need Dan for these birthing smiles. But yeah, the thing was that like during the initial sort of like cutscene, which is less a cutscene and more just a series of talking dialogue because it's a Square Enix game from the PS2. They have stuff like that where it's just text boxes. But what happened halfway through is that the text boxes start saying something like 20,320, then 20,321, but like basically the ID for every text line that just didn't bother getting fully translated or glitched out, so it was just incrementing up in those numbers.
Yeah, I think that was a problem that used to happen because if I remember, the final mix patch came out very early on in the days of PS2 hacking.
Yeah.
It was like the first major ones that came out. So it was these days, with a few exceptions, they've got stuff like SNES and Sega hacking. They've got that down to a fine art.
Oh
As
yeah.
long as, obviously there's going to be exceptions, but there's a whole load of tools which exist which let you. It covers the majority of things that you're likely to encounter.
Yeah.
But there's not really too much like that for PS2 games because people just don't really do them because they're a lot more complicated.
Oh yeah, this is... Yeah. I needed to get some extra blood vials because I'm pretty sure I need 3 in order to use Dan's collateral shot. And I was short by 1, I think it was.
Nah.
But yeah, like I did do Lingering Will. I did all the data organization fights. I even ended up doing all like the Mushroom 13 challenges, which was like arguably the bigger pain in the ass because those are all gimmick fights.
Yeah.
But it's like Lingering Will, surprisingly, based on what you described, I had like I still found it pretty fun, and I think that might be a case where the way I was playing it on Critical, that's probably a case where it was made for that more than anything.
Oh wow, she ducked down just as you fired.
Oh, you son of a... Yeah, because it's like Lingering Will, it's otherwise like, the thing with that is, when it comes to that fight, obviously, like, the difficult part comes from trying to, like, find the opportunity to get your hits in. But it kind of led to a case where it's like, once you do get like, your hits in, and can keep, like, a combo going, especially if it's, like, using Final Form, as well as the ability that makes it so that when your MP is on regen, you don't do a finisher. You can just kind of melt off, like, a third to a quarter of their health at a time.
Yeah.
But it was the sort of thing where when I did it, I unfortunately had to use save states near the end, just because it got to the point where, like, there was, like, less than 3 health bars left, and he was just, like, spamming his desperation move so much that I had basically no choice but to, like, glide around, and I was like, I don't feel like going through all of those first dozen health bars again just to get to this.
Yeah, there comes a point with I feel it's more particular with the Kingdom Hearts super bosses than anything. There comes a point where it just stops being fun.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, that's at least there was a Harmon room very close by, but it's like, yeah, I'm just working with so few, like, thin blood, or, like, blood vials that I'm just, like, kind of laxing on, being able to get rid of those,
Don't make me say it.
birthing smiles.
I'm a clean.
But yeah, besides that whole thing with the, with, like, the constant desperation move spam near the end, Lingering Will was alright. It's the sort of thing where it's like, I feel if I go with my plan down the line to, like, stream, like, a playthrough of that game on critical mode, it'll probably be a case where I just do, like, the main game right up until the very final battle, like, on a new save. And then I'll just load the one that I have been, like, playing on emulator, because I can easily extract that and, like, transfer it to my real memory card. And then just, like, show off the data organization fights and Lingering Will without much expectation of whether or not I'll actually beat them in a reasonable amount of time, but just be like, I'm literally max level. I have all the abilities I could ever want to be able to, like, equip them, because critical mode just gives you so many ability points more than all the other modes.
Yeah, it just shits AP at you.
And that's even, like, when using, like, the bare minimum amount of, like, accessories that are designed to, like, increase your AP. That's the crazier part.
Oh, she's back. Yeah.
you know what? Yeah. Okay, at least they got 3 vials, but I know that there's, like, the other one that's, like, spawning.
Right around the corner, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to... There. Switch back to Con and play it safe.
It's also so weird switching from Con, or getting used to Con's perspective, and then Dan, who's like a good 3 feet higher.
Oh, man. Oh, at least his weak point was in his own head. That's relief. Oh, that's why it's okay, so it's not like another one of those like moving spawners. It's just a case where like it's just a regular spawner that's in place. That's why.
There's a Carmelia smile as well.
Yeah, which. Okay.
If you would just stop pooping those things for 5 seconds.
Yeah, at least give me enough time to feel more comfortable about doing another collateral shot. Oh yeah, I could just do this and like wait out the blinding explosion because that part of the game does not get paused. Now then, because I do also want the extra blood from the Camilla smile, I guess. I don't know. I keep.
I can never remember.
Okay, so. Okay, good. Yeah, critical lock-on makes it so that it's like I don't even need Kaide's scope anymore to get that. Let's... Oh, yeah, there's another room with smiles over there. Oh.
Oh, nope, he's back.
Okay. I do like the detail, though, that, like, when they, like, when those poison smiles go down without their weak points getting taken out, it does lead to a situation where it's like their laugh as they die just gets played in reverse. It's just like something like that. It's ridiculous. Oh. Well, at least like this hallway's now less of a headache. Whew. But God, I can't wait until I get all my stuff back. It's like, yeah, I guess my basically first weekend of July is when like my family is gonna be like stopping by like that storage unit and like getting the stuff out of there to bring it up here, so I can finally start like looking through everything and going, okay, what should I be prioritizing the like my retro related projects?
Yeah,
because there's a lot on my plate and not a whole lot of money to go around on that.
Yep.
Like, what I've actually been thinking a lot of recently is stuff with my N64 specifically, and that I'm thinking of trying to, like, replace all the batteries in my cartridges, just because they are now all at the very minimum 20 years old, and I feel like that sooner or later I'm just going to lose those saves unless I do something.
Oh, yeah. Was it the average lifespan of those is, like, what, 5 years? 6 years? Something like that?
For the batteries?
Or is that just for the... Or is that just for... am I just thinking of the SNES era? When they used the big watch batteries?
Maybe, but I mean, like, all of them, to a degree, still use, like, those watch batteries, those CR2032s. Yeah, I think the only cartridges that don't use them for whatever reason are the Game Boy Advance, funny enough. Because I guess it's just a different to kind of go with, like, the size. It's weird. Yeah. But it's the sort of thing where it's like, I know, because SNES carts are obviously older, and I've been seeing obviously a lot more instances of people going, yeah, the clock battery in my SNES carts don't work anymore. So, but it's like, and it's the sort of thing where I don't know if it's due to the fact that I'm just like lucky, or the fact that like I've not gone as far out of my way to like played them so much to the point of wearing them down. But regardless, I still feel like I'd rather get that out of the way, because I got like 20-some games, and I think only 2 of them don't even have the clock batteries in them because they're both Konami games. Okay, so 1437625.
Yeah, I just took a picture of it there.
Cool, so you can remind me. Good. I'm glad I have you here for this.
I have my uses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those Konami games, funny enough, are Mystical Ninja Star and Goemon and Hybrid Heaven. Because for whatever reason, they were like, when they put those games outside Japan, it was like, manufacturing these carts is such a bitch. We're just gonna, like, leave it up to people to get their own memory pack and save data that way. We don't care.
Yeah, Hybrid Heaven's one of those games I always meant to give a, try playing, because it's, like, it was described to me as, like, an RPG version of Vagrant Story. And I was like, well, Vagrant Story is an RPG.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, more RPG. And I was like, okay, Vagrant Story is one of my favorite games, so...
Oh, yeah, same for me, yeah. But I think it's more accurate to say that, like, it's basically someone decided to make a wrestling or MMA game as a turn-based RPG. That's what it's more like, honestly. So, okay, I'm trying to find my way again to the... Right, the horse race table was here. So, 1...
1, 4, 3.
Yep.
7, 6.
7.
2, 5.
Yep, there we go. And they're off.
The exhilaration.
No Yakuza were involved in any of these horses.
This truly is the sport of kings.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yay.
Oh.
You must be psychic.
Mm-hmm. At least with the at least with the N64 like battery replacing idea I'm having. At least I feel that's something that is significantly more doable for me in the short term, just because of the prices. Because they're freaking watch batteries. Those things are plenty. The hard part is trying to make sure I get the ones with like the soldering tabs necessary, and that they're easy for me to get because there are regulations in place as far as how and where you're able to ship lithium batteries. And it's like, it's this, it led to the sort of thing where it's like, basically every listing I saw on Amazon was like, we can't ship these to your location. And it's just like, okay, I get it, I'm in Alaska, but it's like, there has to be more than that, like, come on. But no, it's just more like there are very specific, like, conditions and regulations that those type of batteries need to adhere to be shipped properly via airmail. And I guess most sellers don't really give enough of a shit of trying to abide by those. So it's like, they only really care about selling if they're going by, like, ground parcel or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's the sort of thing where, like, I'd have to do a bit more research, but I think I found, like, a site online that has those batteries with the solder tabs already in place, and by the looks of it, I went as far enough through the checkout process to at least see that there was no notice of it going, okay, we can't ship it here. So I might have an option there to get like 20 or so of those things.
Yeah.
The only tough part following that will be having to make sure I can find like a place to get find someone that I can get the soldering iron and desolder tool to deal with, because soldering is something that I'm not used to, admittedly, but I'm pretty sure I know someone at work who's like similarly into retro stuff as I am and has done mods on his own personal stuff that I'm pretty sure he has it, so that'd be an option.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. The easiest way of doing it would be like a fellow hobbyist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't going to be cheapest.
Yeah.
They know what this shit's for.
Which is why I'm hoping that, like, maybe, like, that coworker of mine would be more willing to do it, because we're at least coming at it from, like, we both have, like, the same interests.
Yeah.
Pretty much
And
like
it's
the...
like, yeah, sure, that'll be $200.
Not quite. I imagine he'd be charging me more if I were to buy off some of his PS2 stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Because at the very minimum, I do feel like I'm gonna need to, like, buy, like, if not games, then at the very least, his, one of his DualShock 2s. Because I very much need another one.
Yeah, I need to get a new DualShock 2 and a new DualShock 3 as well.
Yeah. My DualShock 3 admittedly does still work fine. It's just that, like, I'd rather not have to use it with, like, a Brook adapter on PS2 unless that is somehow... Unless somehow every other DualShock 2 it suddenly explodes and is no longer usable.
Now, with me, one of my DualShock 3s, I don't know what it is, like, if it's the shoulder buttons keep acting up, or if it's the left, right, and if it's the digital pad, or if it's the analog, or what, but just basically makes it completely impossible to play anything. One of them, I think the battery is just completely done, because it's not charging whatsoever. And the other ones are real crappy third-party pads, which I picked up because the other two don't work.
Yeah.
So
Funny enough, though, I did actually end up using my DualShock 3 when I was, like, going through KH2, as well as, like, other games, because I remembered I had brought it up with me when I was, like, moving away from my old place, because it was like, I actually can't bring my PS3, not that I would want to, because it was falling apart, but at least I still have this DualShock 3 that not only is, like, it has the two things I wish both of my DualShock 2s I had were more reliable with, which was working vibration and the pressure sensitivity being, like, closer to ideal. So naturally, with that, I remembered, oh yeah, I can actually use this with PCSX2, and that'll let me do the... It'll let me actually use the pressure sensitivity properly this time. So I figured... Yeah. Hey, why not just do a test run of the bouncer?
You are determined to get that game running.
It straight up looks like the kind of bad game I would be all about. It's so stupid.
At what point is my duty of care to stage an intervention? Because it's starting to get worrying.
No, I think there's way worse that would be, like, more soul-crushing. I could be doing 100% of Donkey Kong 64. You'd basically need to, like, call, like, a suicide hotline or something to, like, or, like, interventions to, like, stop me from doing that.
105%, thank you.
Oh god, that's right, yeah. Okay, so now it's this whole... card puzzle.
I completely forget what this puzzle is.
It's like...
Oh, yes, yeah. What the background of the posters looks like.
Yeah, which is a bit... Yeah, which I feel like the deer's the one that, like, I generally have the easiest time remembering. The others are, like, a blank, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like... And you can immediately just trial and error this entirely because, like, once you get it correct, you can't select that card again. I think. Or...
I think this one I just solved completely by accident the first time.
Yeah, or something, I don't know. Okay, there it is. I guess for whatever reason I didn't register, like, the 2 or something, I don't know. Yeah, you can tell we don't care about these puzzles in this game at all. I don't even think the devs really cared.
Well, considering that half the puzzles are press ordered button or use ring.
Mm-hmm.
Or use odd engraving on odd engraving hole.
Yeah.
That's it. There's your puzzle.
Yep, there's also your other puzzle, the first time we get to use Kevin.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
It's
But
that
now,
time again, kid.
yep, it's everyone's favorite moment. Ugh. But yeah, it was like the pressure sensitivity, like in my DualShock 3, still works pretty well, all things considered. I mean, like, that kind of doesn't change the fact that it's still the bouncer, and I think, like, even in the ideal conditions of using pressure sensitivity, it's like, you kind of have to be, like, even lighter with some of those button presses than, like, than you think the game wants you to in order to differentiate between light and heavy versions of those attacks.
See, my first time playing it, I didn't realize that it was pressure sensitive, so I would just be hitting the buttons as normal and being like, why are these combos flowing like a river of bricks?
Yeah, and it's crazy too because it's like the light presses really feel only valuable to do if you're doing the high attack, because those are the only ones that lead into like traditional 3-hit punch combos.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like it still looks pretty solid. I love just how much it has like this crazy obscure mid to late 90s OVA energy to it.
It reminds me of, did you ever watch the OVA for Galarians?
I did not, no.
It's so much like that.
Is it also very a case where like its main antagonists are very metrosexual?
Not so much, but it's got that same kind of feeling of, we don't know what the fuck as long as it looks cool.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the energy that's appreciable. It's just like, we're doing this because we feel it looks cool.
Yeah. Like, the Western release of it used music from the greatest hits of nu metal when it was released.
Oh god, that's...
So it's got, like, Fear Factory, Cold Chamber, all those kind of guys on the soundtrack. If I remember right, the DVD had two sound mixes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than like a regular and a commentary track. One was the original soundtrack and one was the Western soundtrack.
Oh man.
And let's just say, if you weren't watching it with the nu metal soundtrack, you were doing yourself a disservice because it was hilarious.
Oh man. Man, now
so there were some legitimately good songs on it, but it was just the most inappropriate moments because, like, yes, this is the kind of setting where you could quite easily get away with a very heavy industrial kind of soundtrack, but they just picked the worst songs for it.
Do you happen to remember by chance who it was that like distributed or localized it? Like what studio?
I believe ADV.
Okay, that's even better. Yeah. Man, God bless those people.
Yep. It's Galarian's Rion.
Okay. That's good to know.
Fairly certain it was AD Vision that released it in the West. Yeah, the music on it was Edema, Devil Driver, Fear Factory, Seven Dust, Slipknot, naturally, Skinny Puppy, and the Vandals for some reason. It's like the most, like, you know, metal, industrial, the Vandals.
Oh, yeah.
Music out of fucking nowhere.
Oh, jeez.
And it was released to tie in with Galarian's Ash, the sequel.
Oh my. Oh boy.
Okay. Apparently, the entire thing was animated using the graphics engine of Ash. So, like, what the fuck?
That's... wow.
Even I didn't know that. I've watched that film more than is probably healthy. So, like, twice.
God, now I'm thinking how much better or worse the bouncer would be if it was just an OVA.
It kind of feels like it wanted to be. You know?
Oh wait, I think, okay, maybe this is like the compromise. It's like, okay, like the upside is the bouncer is no longer a video game that is apparently so infamous that you get YouTube essays from popular people going, it's the worst thing Square's ever made. You get rid of that, have it be an OVA, but instead it's an OVA that is released in 3 different versions with scenes and dialogue altered to reflect each of the 3 characters' point of view, just like in the game. If you want the bits where you can actually hear who killer7 is talking to on the phone, you have to get his version of the OVA.
See, you laugh, but they were back in the 90s. They actually released Marvel as one of their marketing gimmicks. Released a Spider-Man spin-off called Slingers, in which like 8 pages. It was about 4 characters, and there was like 4 different versions of the first issue released, where 8 pages were unique to each character.
Oh,
and
wow.
the only way you could get the whole story was by buying all 4 issues. It was complete bullshit. But that has happened before, and unless people are vigilant, it will happen again.
Babyface. So,
It's just
John Paul.
I mean,
I guess my speech.
to be fair, anime's already done even more ballsier stuff. We already have the Endless 8 from Harui as proof of that.
Like,
the strongest.
I can respect a company that does that and thinks it's a good idea.
Oh, come. Okay, I gotta focus for this. Oh. Okay, this is real. Like, yeah, I think I'm actually starting to. I can't remember. Wasn't it something where it's like when Chip did his LP, didn't he like switch to like Khan or like some other character just to shoot at Jean Paul that way? Like, I want to say that was like an alternate way to do it.
I do remember that this is one of those boss fights where it's like, it's very all or nothing, where either you get it right first time or you spend forever trying to just, plink away at him until everything goes right.
Yeah.
Just because he fires so quickly.
Yeah. And even then, it's like I upgraded Mask the Smith somewhat because I knew that this was kind of a fight that is designed to encourage him. But it's like, oh my god. Yeah, this is definitely one of the least, boss fights, I feel like, because it's...
That's because he takes so long to aim.
Yeah, it's like...
I've played mech games where you didn't take as long aiming.
Yeah, this is real unfortunate.
Yeah, this is just frustrating.
Okay.
Rightly said.
Yeah, okay, that... I mean, I could have gone worse. I could have died as Mask, and then God knows, how much longer I would have had to keep mashing the button to revive him.
I think at that point you need to commit Sudoku.
Yeah, like he did.
Yeah, no 2 ways about it.
True. Yeah, fuck Jean Paul.
Where's the teabag button?
I don't know.
Oh hey, it's one of the most fucked up scenes in the entire series, the entire game.
Taking advantage of us.
Pretty sure this is just how all Mahjong anime is meant to go.
You got this all mixed up, you monkey.
Well,
Don't you think
Kaiji's not too far off that.
when you're on the verge of death?
I had a feeling that you were gonna mention that. It was either that or a Kage or whatever it is, because I feel like there's 2 series that are cut from the same cloth of that type of art style and tone.
I'll take that as a threat.
Well,
to
Kaiji and
the states.
Akagi are both from the same guy.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think Akagi is purely based around Mahjong, whereas Kaiji is all different types of gambling, and usually it's random games that he's come up with purely for that storyline, like the rock paper scissors game.
Oh dear, they managed to make something compelling out of that.
What?
Oh, dude, restricted rock, paper, scissors. You need to, like,
No, you care
guarantee
about winning.
you watch,
really
I think
are
it's
a
like
stupid
10
dog.
episodes
You
of
better pay attention
the
before someone puts a
rock,
bullet
paper,
in your
scissors
head.
style
Shut
card
up,
game,
monkey.
and it is the most gripping shit you will ever see. I am not making this up.
Man. I mean that rock
Like I
paper
said,
scissors
I'm no
LP on the
train of
sub
thought.
forum was already pretty
Wow.
gripping. I'd be surprised if this was able to top that.
Bullshit.
No, that
Enough of the
rock, paper,
caviling.
scissors game on the
This is
sub
pathetic.
forum was Babytown Frolics.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yo,
Now I definitely need to watch this.
that's a footy cat.
Let me put it this way: I watched it, and
No
I was
hand.
like, because I'd seen someone streaming a couple of episodes. I think it was his second season,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, this is really gripping. So I'll go back to the first season, and it's standard length. I think it's like 24 or 26 episodes,
Yeah.
and I pretty much marathoned the entire thing in one sitting. First season. Second season was the following day, and it was just as good.
Yeah.
So I cannot recommend Kaiji highly enough. And there's, I think there's like the manga. I believe the manga's still going.
That I would not be surprised. That seems like the kind of thing that would be like extremely long running because of like its demographic and like who it aims at. I mean, Golgo 13 is like one of the longest running mangas ever, and it only ever had to take a break once this fucking pandemic started. Everything's in pieces. That's just like Susie.
I don't know. She's in pretty good shape. Just don't ask what that shape is.
Yeah, that shape being a head. Oh man.
Petite.
Yep.
Handy carry size. And now there's nobody left.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, just give me that ring you keep pulling in your mouth. Just make sure to wipe it down first.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
don't...
Next thing you know, I'm having to apologize to a corpse.
Man, this is 2005. Even Susie was ahead of the curve going, fucking boomers. Ugh.
Susie did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it was the old man's fault for being such a perv. Oh yeah, and Japan's still en route for getting blown up by hundreds of missiles, I guess.
You know, they're really slow missiles.
They basically launched like in like I imagine in China, and instead of just going the short route, they're just going all the way west just to rack up that tension.
I knew they should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. There's that on engraving we picked up long ago that is finally getting used for something.
Oh hey, it's the stop missiles button.
Nope, it's just the make elevator go high button.
Damn it.
Yeah,
'Cause that would've been
unfortunately.
really useful right about now.
Yeah. That said though, it's not like we're gonna be able to really stop it because it's like right now all we got that we can do is kill the reanimated corpses of Shinzo Abe and some other fuck.
Toru Fukushima,
Fuck you.
probably. If that's actually his name, I'm gonna be impressed with myself.
I mean, like there was already a Fukushima that had already been killed. Is the thing at the restaurant? He's not coming back. That I definitely know. But it's more like, yeah, it's just the other weird like politicians from like one of the earlier cutscenes where Matsuken just shoots them in the head because apparently
Yeah.
Japanese politicians are like they just like try and goad their kohais into killing them because they think that they don't have the guts to do it.
Oh yeah, all Japanese politicians are strapped 24/7.
Yeah. And with how things are going over there in that country, I feel like someone needs to take the initiative like Matsuken clearly has.
Just comes in listening to some NWA.
Yeah, it's like no one gives a shit about trying to maintain the Olympics here, you old fucks. And then just headshots all of them. And then proceeds to leave the building with all of the vaccine samples that are just not being distributed whatsoever.
It's like, told you the boys in the hood are always hard.
Yeah. See, even this guy is upset at the two undead Japanese politicians. It's like, they keep stopping me, even though I keep wanting to be a hero and change the world. I can't, but so it's like, yeah, that's the hint. You gotta shoot them directly in the brains.
Yeah, this boss fight, I will admit, took me forever.
Just in terms of, like, figuring out, like, what the solution even was.
That, and also I hadn't really upgraded Kaide that much.
Yeah.
So, mainly because I didn't realize that if you reload while zoomed, then it takes longer to reload her pistol.
Yeah.
So, like, I would constantly get hit by the flying brain chunks.
There it is. There's the down attack.
Nice.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, because I looked at it afterwards, and it's like, yeah, it is just a matter of you hitting the fire button when in that mode. It's just you gotta be real on point with your timing.
Yeah, you get maybe like half a second to react.
Yeah, because like there's supposed to be like a flash that comes up when when it happens.
Mm.
But
Yeah, timing is not generous at all.
yeah, at least got the micro smile.
Also maxed out on blood.
Yeah, wow, that's actually, huh? Yeah, how about that? That's quite interesting.
Don't think I've ever actually managed that before.
Yeah, but then, yeah, so it's like right now just talk to Travis, one last bit for this mission, and then use the wind ring to blow away the tarp. Because that's a very good way of trying to hide your secret entrance.
Sweep the leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Japan's good as shit if, like, those are the people that are being meant to lead it. Just the pinnacle of out-of-touch white men.
Even though they're Japanese.
Yeah. Okay, out-of-touch old men, I guess more specifically. That's a bit more general. One last save. And then once this matter is all done, we'll get to like one of the best missions of the whole game.
You forgot to put your blood in?
Blood machine was already maxed out.
Oh, is it broken?
Yeah, it got broken. So
Does that carry over to chapter 2?
it doesn't. No, like it always resets.
Or part 2 of Sunset? I mean.
Well, this is part 2.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and
I
yeah,
thought you maxed it in part 1.
I did, but it's like part 1 and part 2 have their own separate maxes. Is the idea, I think. All right.
This country,
There's these dipshits.
Yeah.
it's too big. Our voices will never be heard. You
Boy, ain't that the
really
truth
think
today.
you're better than us, Because
Like, just the line of our voices will never be heard because this country's too big.
you're not getting out of here alive. Japan's not going down just yet. Not without a fight. We'll show him, right, partner?
For how stylized this is, man, just like the detail on these dudes with like their brains blown out, their heads blown out by like a magnum shot is just so... Yeah, it is very detailed, detailed in very weird specific ways that just managed to make it the most unsettling.
It's really gnarly.
Yeah, just the, like the exposed brains, the one dude with like his right eyeball, like, just...
Dripping down, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the skull flap as well.
Mm-hmm. There we go. So there's the first thing we gotta do. Oh.
Yeah, that was what always got me.
Mm-hmm. Good thing we got all this blood.
Yeah, by the time I zero in on the weak spots, there's already like 3 chunks of brain coming towards me.
Well, hey, like that first guy on the left only went down in 2 shots. That's pretty good.
Wow.
It was a very good thing that I decided to upgrade Kaide a couple levels in all categories.
Yeah.
See, because while it's a very good idea to, like, invest as much of your blood into Khan as possible, because Khan is the best, you know, he's not really ideal if you're trying to go into this fight, for instance, you know?
I remember someone saying it's possible to hit his brain if you manage to hit like 1 or 2 pixels that are constantly showing, but I've never seen it done.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like that's, at that point, that's the best chance you have to kind of hit them again. When he does that little, like, turning to the right. Because he's, like, I guess trying to look back in the direction of where his old partner is. There, like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just gotta find the right time to shoot those during the volleys.
Yeah, supposedly it is possible to hit his brain at almost all times, but...
Yeah. I imagine that's something that's even easier to do if you're playing the PC version where you're just using a mouse to aim.
Yeah.
Ah, reload animation made me miss my chance right there.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't realize that it takes longer if you're aiming because she fumbles with the mag.
Yeah, but like it's definitely longer as well, like when you're zooming in like that, you know?
Yeah.
Which I probably should not have done right there, but whatever.
Nope.
Ah. Yeah, you gotta be... Yeah, this is a very patient fight. But at least it's not as aggravating as it is, like, with Jean de Paul, where it's like you just get into, like, a bad loop.
Yeah, that's frustrating. This is just... You know, if you mistime it, then you need to wait another 30 or 40 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that in order to get him to, like, turn his head, you basically have to destroy some of the brain chunks, like 2 out of these 3.
Yeah. It's not frustrating, it's just tedious.
Yeah, a bit. But hey, again, my gun is so upgraded anyway that it's like it only takes 2 hits to down both of these guys individually. And there we go.
I hadn't been upgrading her, so I think it took about 3 times as long.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like, I'm at the point now where it's like all of Khan's stats are at level 4, which is what I needed to get critical lock on. And at that point, I'm no longer as concerned about needing to get him to level 5, which, like, just upgrading one of those stats at that point takes, like 26 individual, like, serum vials. Like, it's a lot.
So it's really possible in the final chapter where there's no... you can't overload the blood machine.
Yeah, so it's like I can just start putting more into all the other characters now, like Dan, Kaede,
Almost
Mask.
everything. Destroying 1 or 2 nations.
Yeah, I'd say Dan's probably the next priority.
Pretty
The
much.
promise made 30 years ago wasn't a guarantee. It was only the beginning of a countdown.
And so Japan was saved.
Look at them.
From existing.
They're heading toward hell.
They'll be fine. Just wallpaper over it a bit.
We've
No one
gotten
will
used
notice.
to this. I mean, our senses. That's pathetic.
That doesn't necessarily mean that we're not human.
Okay, now you're not helping.
And it ends with the sound of the missiles impacting. Yeah, so... yeah, that's basically just the crux of, like, what this, like, main series of events is, and, like, why the Heaven Smiles are around and all that. It's, like... it's all just for a big plot of ratcheting up US and Japan tensions by literally annihilating Japan off the map.
Yeah, Japan's like, seriously, this shit again.
Yeah.
Didn't we solve this problem like 60 years ago?
It's almost like the main plot is represented by how Kunlun is clearly Asian and Harmon is Western.
Funny that.
Yeah. But I mean, besides that, there's obviously like a bigger thing that's like determining like the whole point of the story anyway. You know, that kind of goes beyond that into more meta territory.
And now time for the best boy in the game.
Yep.
Right in the afro.
Don't worry, it went through. It didn't hit his head. It's fine.
His body's 80% afro by volume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with one of the absolute best cutscenes ever, just to start.
If you know anything about this game, you know this scene.
Yeah, even before I played the game and was like seeing bits of it, like I recall seeing like parts of this like spliced into trailers and all that, just the different things that Almeida says.
Stacy concert going on right here.
A black character who is somehow like voiced by Cam Clark of all things, but for some reason that does not strike you so much as being like a poor casting thing for whatever reason. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, a black guy from Texas voiced by a white guy who's acting like a southern preacher.
Yeah, like the whole thing is that it's just going back to Suda's weird anachronistic idea of what America is.
Can I say though, is he wrong?
Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm coming. Oh Lord, I'm coming.
Woo-hoo!
See, I told you, this is real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're talking guys who beat off 4 times a day. There was a point where, like, because of how memorable the scene was, I did get to a point at least at one spot in my life where I could like remember every single one of those lines in that cutscene verbatim. Like that's how powerful of an opening speech is for establishing this character.
Yeah, it's this entire chapter is somehow the most memorable and yet least outlandish of the entire thing.
And the least to do with like the main plot that was established during the last chapter.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back again to how like the Silver Case was a lot of the same way. Like chapter 2 of the Silver Case was dealing with something that had nothing to do with Kamui. And I think, funny enough, that for the same reasons as this, that ended up being my favorite chapter of that game as well. Because it's like weirdly more down to earth and tragic in that. because it has to do with like a murder that happens and like one of the witnesses being a kid, and like kind of dealing with the fact that like he's grieving in his own way about the fact that like one of his friends ended up getting murdered.
Oh yes, this bit.
Oh yeah, this is
Hi.
remember, this is a kink positive community. I'm sure they agreed to this. I am positive.
I like how he's just staring straight ahead, like I am not making
You
it.
don't need to be so reserved,
Anyone?
you know.
Oh yeah, you were right from last time when you were mentioning it. She was wearing like a mini skirt. For some reason, I thought it was still like the same sort of like jean, like low cut hot pants or whatever it was.
Yeah, for some reason I just remember that it was like a little tartan skirt that she was wearing. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was.
For some reason in my head.
Yeah, you could tell that this was probably a scene that like just gave more reasons for Jack Thompson to like go on his shit back in the day.
I kind of feel that, you know, after the previous scene, whoever was in charge of rating this just saw that and was like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, because it's just like
They
yeah,
just
I get it.
stopped
We're the ESRB. It's our job to have to like require devs to send us material that is supposed to be the most like
I
adult
sense
or
trouble
objectionable
myself.
in it. And it's like even at this point, it's like this shit is so weird anyway. We don't care about like fine. We'll in any other situation we'd make this adults only, but you know what? You have weirded us out too much. We just want this out of our lives. Here's your M rating. Get the fuck out of our office.
Samantha.
Just oh man.
It's like if any of you out there find this scene arousing, I think that says more about you than anything.
Mm-hmm.
What are you still here for? Get out! Shoo!
Get out! I still need to go for a second round. Oh, okay.
I'm concerned is all.
Yes, I'm concerned about my white grandpa. Please, pray for him. Wait, on second thought, no, don't pray for him. He grew too powerful the last time.
Stop praying for him. He's grown an anti-tank gun.
Not even that he acquired it. He physically grows an anti-tank rifle.
You've seen Tetsuo the Iron Man. You know how that happens.
God, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's totally legal.
Stop praying for my grandpa. He's too powerful. He's grown an anti-tank rifle and is shooting at some Asian man in a turquoise suit. Please.
Oh god, he just brought down a jetliner.
He shot a man with the rifle and sent him flying to the Space Needle. How is this okay?
But I trust you know.
I don't even know how that happened.
Let's
We
see
were in New
Texas
York
first.
at the time.
The t-shirt. Nobody wears a t-shirt that says Texas Bronco.
Oh, great. I love to see just this amazing detective,
Time to hit
like
south
reasoning
by
and deduction
southeast.
on Garcia's part. Man wearing a Texas Broncos shirt. Clearly he's in Texas. Yes.
Well, I mean, I was wearing a Camp Crystal Lake t-shirt last week, and I live in Scotland, so clearly I need to commit more terroristic crimes. No, I don't. That was a joke.
What are you talking about? Clearly you need to, like, solve the problem of teenage dipshits having premarital sex.
I kind of figure evolution will do that. You know, Darwin.
Okay, you said the way you said it made it sound like evolution. I was like, what does old Doom wads have to do with this? It's like when did Final Doom get into this?
We don't get many black folk around here.
But yeah, now with this, we also get like a shift in cutscene style since we're now in Texas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where this game has more art shifts than
I just met him
Acid of
today.
Wrath.
I meet
And that
him
got a bit
every
weird with the
day.
DLC chapters.
Yeah. And funny enough, this is probably like on
Just
par with
saw
kind of
the
how like
posters around
it's funny because like
town.
Silvercase also has like art
Think
style
they,
shifts.
great
Like mostly in the fact that like the style of the
Yeah.
portraits
You
between
better
Placebo
keep
and
that
Transmitter
thought to
are very
yourself
different
around
to
here.
reflect, you know,
If
playing as Akira and then
for
playing
your
as
life.
as Morishima. There's also the fact that like there's other subtle differences that happen with each chapters. Like in chapter 2 of Silver Case, the one that I was talking about, that has a bit more of like a obvious thick black outline around objects in like the game view. And then like the third chapter, Parade, is all in black and white.
I need to replay that because like I have this habit when I play like visual novels and that. I'm usually like listening to music, or I've got something on the TV in the background, so I never feel like I absorb them properly.
Right.
So like I've played it and I finished it, I just don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for me to remember a lot of like the broader strokes and important details of that game. Funny enough, at least more so than 25th Ward, just because 3 simultaneous storylines is already a lot more to process.
Yeah, not to mention the storytelling, and that's a bit more, let's just say, experimental.
Yeah, and it's a lot less. You can't really rely on a lot of the same like. You can't abide by like the same method of playing through the story in that as you could in the Silver Case, where it was you did one transmitter chapter, which was, you know, where you're with the 25th Ward like police group, and then the placebo chapter that is Morishima's take on those exact same events. You can't really do the back and forth as easily, if at all, with 25th Ward. Weirdly enough, it's more practical to just stick to one story, finish that, and then go to the other in order.
Well, that's the thing, because I remember reading somewhere that it's really a game that you need to play twice. Once to unlock every chapter, and then again to play them properly in order.
Yeah. Still one of the best endings, the 25th Ward, just as far as just how it decides to go for real absurdity. God bless Bruno and Red Ribbon.
Hurts, doesn't
I think I picked that up when it was on sale at Christmas. Need to properly play that as well. Never playing Flower Run and Rain again, though. That shit's just too obscure even for me.
I don't know. I'd still be down for playing it again if they put out like a proper like HD version where like the graphics are just like upscaling the PS2 version, so that the DS just so the DS isn't just so the DS version isn't the only game only version of the game that's playable in English, you know.
Yeah, I think as well the fact that like it doesn't feel suited for a DS.
Weirdly enough, yeah.
Just because there were bits when I was going through the hotel brochure where I don't know if it was the JPEG compression or what, but there were like literal bits of the text I couldn't make out. And it's definitely a game where you need to read everything clearly.
Yeah, kinda.
So there were bits of the hints where I was just like, nah, screw this, I'm looking up a guide.
Yeah. Well, like, the thing with the DS version as well is that it also adds a bunch of extra puzzles that don't really have much to do with the story.
Basically nothing, yeah.
Yeah. Which is why it's like... Yeah, it's funny because, like, talking about, like, the means of, like, fan translations and just how, you know, like, usually, like, later, like, releases of certain games end up being the first official means to actually, like, experience those translated. I wish there was more of an effort for people to, like, take those translations from newer versions and just transplant them back into, like, their original ROM or ISO, you know?
Well, because with the Game Boy Advance port of Shin Megami Tensei, the original.
Right.
Because they took they received an official release with the iOS port, which is now completely unplayable. But what they did was they took the ROM of that and ripped the translation from it, because the iOS port was based in the GBA edition, and just backported it into the GBA ROM. So, because it's got all the features of the Game Boy Advance edition, which is really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's not the best way to play it, but it's definitely a good way of playing it.
But yeah, it'd just be nice if it was like, so it took like the DS translation for Flower Sun and Rain and just put it in the PS2 ISO. I feel like that would be a lot nicer way of playing that. I mean, like, the graphics are already weird in Flower Sun and Rain no matter how you cut it, just like the way that the character models are designed and like the textures and whatnot. But it's at least, you know, because it's a PS2 where 480i was the common resolution, that is like better than what you could do trying to like make a similarly 3D game on a DS screen.
Well, that's the thing, because pretty much every game on the DS has that kind of, I don't know, crunchy is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Like, it's the opposite of, you know, like when people say that a game looks nice and crisp and clear, like Killer 7. Everything in the DS looks the exact opposite of that.
Well, yeah, especially if it's like someone just trying to go out of way to do something that's, you know, trying to like handle 3D. I still feel like though that like the best use of like 3D graphics for oh, I hear something. I don't know. I always have trouble like trying to like get through like this opening street because it is so wide and it feels like just the heaven smiles are always coming from anywhere.
And they're constantly spawning, so you're gonna fuck no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Shift that truck.
Yeah. So hurry on over and like get to see our old friend Susie. Yay!
Hi, Susie.
Mr. Smith.
Well, hello, Smith.
Yeah, sun's bright. I hate it.
Aww.
Oh yeah, that's right. She technically had not said what her name was until this very moment. We just knew because we played this game before.
Susie the floozy, Susie the doozy.
Yep, the queen of prudies. Susie packs an Uzi.
That last one took it escalated.
Oh yeah, this is the best with the censoring.
How would you cut off their ankles?
Why would you even need to censor ankles? Wait, no, don't answer that. There's probably some ultra Puritan like prudes out there that somehow think it's the lewdest thing to ever show.
Well, I mean, back in the, 1800s, they cover up table legs because they thought they would inflame someone's sexual ardor.
Yeah.
Just like the ending of a Thundercats episode.
Yep. Just slowly close that.
Hi, Susie.
Okay, let's get the stamina ring on so that we can just...
Never take it up again.
Yeah, except for when the puzzles demand it, which is going to be very few and far between, but who cares?
Yeah, I think that's the only optional ring in the game, or is there another again?
I forget. I feel like there's definitely like another out there.
Yeah. So I think there's like 7 or 8 rings in the game. Yes!
Yes!
Travis.
Here it is! Hustle!
Ooh.
One of the best shirts. Paired with one of the best animations.
Work it, Travis.
Churn that butter.
This really is the best chapter.
It is. Largest domestic trading company. Whatever that means. Letters on my shirt's the password. Yeah, so that's another reason why that's the best, because on top of being able to appreciate this lovely hunk of a man.
And Con's just at head height as well.
You asshole, you had to interrupt me! But yeah, it's also the password.
Dang. I'll be honest, the first time I imagine that they had to add that line in because the first time people started watching it, they were like, I'm not paying attention to a single goddamn thing he says.
Yeah.
It's like afterwards, it's like he was wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Oh, great. Here we are.
Yeah, I just use Con's speed boost to go right past them.
Fuck you.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah. At least we can keep killing these old native smiles and just getting more blood health refills.
Yeah. Any more for any more? Oh, there you go.
Fuck you.
This is a nice place. Everyone's jogging.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You get even like the little jingles every time you hit them in their weak point.
Fuck you.
Well, it's virtually impossible to not hit them at point, except for there.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 5 vials. Yeah, we're just going to... Any more gonna spawn in? Yeah.
I think you're good for now.
Yeah, I gotta do what you said, like, use speed boost to just kinda... Nope, no. Did not see that.
That was a regular dude. Just because the giant smiles are just way too much trouble.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to know who they got who they got to do the motion capture.
Yeah, that'd be nice to know.
Fuck you.
That running animation is just precious.
Oh wait, that's right, it's locked from the other side. We're gonna need Coyote for that later.
Yeah, that's your shortcut, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's the Cold member. What's he got to say?
Oh, hey, not Iwazaru.
Yeah.
There's your pompadour and your speed suit.
Oh yeah, it's just reminding us that Travis is the only man we can trust, which I am glad we're on the same page about.
Travis, top man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's like one part.
Fuck you.
Oh, that was close. So. Yeah, I actually need to go down the other street just to get like the on engravings to fit in that and then input the password. Because it's a multi-lock system.
First time I did this stage, I thought that was you would slide soul shells in there.
Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, carrier pigeons.
Hey, birdie.
I get the feeling I may or may not have missed a one or two at some point. I guess, I don't know, I've not been paying as much attention to these.
I'm fairly certain you missed the one in the last stage.
Probably, yeah.
I think there's one on the roof near Travis.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Might be wrong, but I'm fairly certain there's one on every stage.
Oh well, this isn't even my main file anyway. It's not like I'm gonna be like, you know, trying to unlock Killer 8 and Hopper 7 on this file. I already did that once in my life. That was enough.
Yeah, I never did Hopper 7, and I don't regret it.
I mean, Hopper 7's fine, because at least it's only the first level.
Yeah.
But like, the process of unlocking it means going through Killer 8, which is a whole other matter.
Yeah, no, not doing that.
Nope. Trust the pigeons. You need the ring for the vase. Yeah, they really are just, like, dumping hints in ways that just are, like, no one, like, the designers clearly do not care about trying to like make their puzzles good anymore because they know they can't.
Yeah.
But they have to do it out of like obligation because this is a video game. So I think I'm gonna try going for 210. I believe it was because the pigeon mentioned it. Yep, right here.
The eagle has landed on the roof.
With the power of think. That is never gonna leave.
Nope.
Because it's too good. And we'll see what's inside here.
Nope, there's a vase. Holy shit, the smiles are out in force.
Yeah, already in 19 smashes. Yeah, which...
I think it's the water ring?
I believe that is, I think, the case. Yeah, because you gotta fill it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Like so.
N.
Yep, the odd engraving, which goes into that password machine. Yeah, this is going... Yeah, this chapter thus far is going a lot smoother now, especially after that first room. And even then, it's on the whole a lot smoother than it was during the, like, part 2 of Sunset, because... Good God, man. Streamer's curse, I blame it on that.
Yeah.
That's just something you have to roll with.
Fuck you.
Anything else? Anywhere?
Oh, one behind you.
Oh. Oh, but I think he turned the other way. It was another jogging smile. But yeah, I spooked another Carmilla smile because guess who's here?
Oh, joy.
Oh, and good for us. We got 12 blood vials. We can like we just only need to use half of these to get right, I think.
Oh, that hopefully won't take too long.
This is too easy.
Ah, those sweet vocal tones from Dan Smith.
You're fucked.
That's Coyote.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying it for flavor.
Mm-hmm. Hurts, doesn't it?
Fuck you.
Let's see.
Yeah, the other houses don't have anything in them, do they?
Not really. Oh, jeez, that was another tiny smile. I was not paying attention to that. But hey, we at least got this shortcut opened up again. So just get Coyote.
Yeah, just a shame. I don't think we need to go back round the other way, do we?
I don't think so. Unless I'm forgetting something that the other houses have that might be important later on. I don't think there is, because I feel like they put so much emphasis on the fact that you have to go on into House 210.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Running, running, running.
Gotta go fast. Channel the spirit of Sonic the Hedgehog, young Chinese blind boy. Because, yeah, he's technically Chinese, I guess. Oh wait, that's right. Oh wait, that's right. I didn't switch back to the stamina ring. God damn it! There we go.
Well, now you've just ruined everything.
There. Now we can hustle.
Clonk.
At least this is a better password than the one that was just no.
That password specially chosen by Grumpy Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace.
Indeed. It's up there in cat heaven with Keyboard Cat.
And the original Garfield.
Dangerous.
Oh, God, that's right, yeah. Yep. Okay, just keep falling down. Thank you.
Yeah, as I just found it so much easier to do that than actually try fighting them, because it's just bullshit.
The funny thing is that I remember like doing that same sort of strategy, but I did it without the speed up beforehand for whatever reason.
I just found it easy to do the speed.
Yeah, I could see how that would be the case. Absolutely. Alright, let's drop off some more blood.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah. Yeah, like, your thick blood gets reset, but at least you do keep whatever remaining vials you did have from the last mission.
Mm.
That's always appreciated.
Jeez, you still are an ugly fella. How's it been, huh?
Okay, so obviously you can't hear it just because of how screen share is, but like this, when you hover over Dan's portrait in this chapter, he does start saying something more specific that is clearly goes back to what I talked about before, where there's like some beef between Dan and Coyote, and he says something here where it's like, man, you really are an ugly son of a bitch. How you been? Which is very clearly directed towards Coyote.
Sorry, pal.
I don't know, I kind of get the feeling that's how he greets most of his
ugly
friends.
fella.
Yeah.
Well, the ones he hasn't killed or gotten killed.
Probably, I guess.
Assuming he has any of those left.
Yeah, I'll figure out later where I want to spend the rest of the serum vials, because it's like, I'm still using con for most of this.
Yeah.
I'll at least be like, slowly working up Dan's stuff more over time, just because I feel it's only appropriate we use it when we get to his chapter.
Yeah. I mean, Con's got the most utility, but Dan's probably, well, aside from Mask, Dan's probably the most powerful of the bunch.
Oh, they literally boxed me in.
That is not played there.
Yeah, like going into that Harmon room is kind of a bad spot to be in. Who'd have thunk?
Almost like it's a trap.
Okay, what's the bulletin board? If wanting Olmeda collection number 7, it comes to the drugstore. Photograph of Olmeda that is necessary.
Who wrote this, Charlie? It's Always Sunny?
Yeah.
Olmeda me now. Olmeda wanting a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, collect collections to meet the president. Sign up at the post office. Yeah,
Yes,
all the different bottle cap figures of Olmeda in different outfits.
These are just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
The annoying thing is, though, if I remember right, the gacha dispenser doesn't tell you when you've got all of them. Just lets you keep pumping in coins.
Something like that, but I mean, it's like, we already got so many anyway.
Yeah.
So we get 10, 2, 4, 3, 1, 5. So far, we haven't gotten any duplicates. 6.
Skateboard Almeida. Very important.
8. 9. Cheerleader Olmeda. Oh, yeah, very, very progressive.
Absolutely vital.
Yes. Okay, now, oh yeah, it does tell you that you get a duplicate is the idea, but...
And of course that would be the first duplicate that we get.
Yeah, because it's like, just need to keep hammering that part home. Okay, now we got 11. So I think the only thing left that we need to get is 12 out of this. Or something. I forget if that's actually part of this or not, because I know 7 has a very specific requirement. Like it said, you have to kind of go by the post office.
Yeah, I think there's... Is it just that one, or is it the secret one as well that you need to do a puzzle?
It might be. It could be a case where, like, 7 and 12 are, like, secret stuff that you can't get through, like, these machines. But, I mean, like, I might as well just use up all these coins.
Yeah, and then check.
Oh, yeah, I think it is very much clear at this point that we got all of them at this point. Everything is just a duplicate. 7 and 12 we have to get through other means. Okay, there we go. Now then. We can check the collection right now, so... Yeah, 7 and 12. Those are the only ones that's missing. See what Coldmember has to say.
Rugrats in Paris? Oh, that one.
Lord of the Rings isn't an autobiography about Andre Almeida. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's talking about the ring, duh.
Yeah. Everyone at the collection's a priceless treasure. A secret figure in there, okay. So yeah, we know that. Yeah, 12 is the secret.
Yeah. I knew there was another one that was difficult to get. But yeah, Sadako is what happens when Andre Almeida washes and then hides in a well for 3 decades.
So yeah, now we gotta get number 7 from like the post office around there, and then we have to dig up number 12 elsewhere.
The world is full of mysteries.
206 Terry Street. Oh yeah, we definitely are gonna be going back to that that street again, because I'm pretty sure that's the hint of where number 12 is. And how convenient that like this leads us back to there.
Hey, Julia.
I remember you because in the last VOD, like that entire gun shootout completely drowned out both of our audio. Always appreciate in media where ghosts are just portrayed as like having way more clarity about their life and like reality than they did when they were alive.
Well, who has fewer earthly attachments than a ghost?
True. Okay. Coyote's animations are special.
I just want to know who's going around locking everything with handcuffs. Seems a bit weird.
Yeah. But I mean, just like who lockpicks with that kind of stance?
Fuck you.
That kind of joie de vivre.
Yeah. Okay. Now we just gotta get over to 206. Which is either... Oh wait, no, there was a Harmon's room right there. Yeah, might as well stop by, why not?
Drop off that blood.
Yeah, because at the very least, even if not every Harmon's room lets you save, like, as long as you the last one you enter, at least is the one where Garcian spawns from. Like, if you're an instance where you need to bring him out.
Jeez, you still are an ugly fella. How's it been, huh?
Yeah, just dump more of this into Dan. Just get him all up to level 3. Get him nice and ready for the chapter after this.
The one which I always wind up forgetting about.
The
but
one
again,
yeah.
After this chapter, it's like everything else is kind of a letdown.
Yeah. Maybe to some extent, but I don't know. I think the only thing that's a letdown about Dan's chapter is the fact that he's really the only one that gets that kind of character-specific chapter.
Yeah.
It would have been nice. Yeah.
I get the feeling that the full plan would have been character chapter, story chapter, character chapter, story chapter. Just that they kind of had to jam what little character development they had in the regular story chapters.
Right. Okay. Trying to work my way back around here to remembering like where 206 would be at, cause now I guess it actually would be back in that neighborhood or something, because it's like, yeah, because you remember like when we looked at that photo in the diner, it said 206. Or maybe I misread and it's supposed to be 208 or something, I don't know. Either way, we're just gonna have to like check through all of these. Which is something that I probably should have done on the first pass anyway, because I completely forgot about like where like the 12th collection was, you know? Because I remember everything else about like 1 through 11.
I'm fairly certain the 12th one you need to use Kaide to get.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm just like...
It's hidden behind like a poster or a bloodstain or something.
Something like that, yeah. But I just like went through here because when I hit that intersection, I was hit with the familiar jingle of like, this is supposed to be like a puzzle or something. Is there? No. None in here. Fine. Just keep sweeping through all this. Still a good game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's just suited to a fault.
For better or worse, it is suited as fuck.
Yeah. Can't wait for No More Heroes 3.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to suplex some gators.
Just another 3 months.
Yeah. Which I'm starting to think on more and more that like I'm probably not gonna do like that playthrough of No More Heroes 2 HD in lead up to it, just because I don't feel like putting down $20 for that, where like I'm not even gonna bother playing it more after I finish streaming it, which as opposed to No More Heroes 1, where I absolutely like went and got 100% of everything again after we had finished that stream months ago.
I think I'm probably just gonna watch a playthrough of it.
Yeah, that's probably for the better. I mean, like, at least with that one, like, it still runs pretty well in the HD version. In fact, technically even better, I think, because it manages to have less or even no frame drops from 60, which I think is that's pretty technically impressive. Oh, these things.
Cat ball smiles.
Fucked.
Yep.
For a minute there, I was like, that guy's stuck.
Fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, nothing in here still. Okay.
Next.
God, No More Heroes 3 is gonna be so cool. I'm still amazed that they're like still going all in on the silver case references even in that game.
Seriously.
Yeah, between Henry's new design just looking like Morishima has lost it even further.
It's gonna be interesting if they do have any silver case like actual references beyond cameos.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, like Suda is a niche designer. Like his stuff is very much an acquired taste. and the silver case is an acquired taste for his work. So, you know, we're talking like a really small percentage of people who are going to be A, interested in that, and B, capable of recognizing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like even then it's like the real acquired taste obviously is Flower, Sun, and Rain. I think that much is obvious. Silver Case does not go out of its way to deliberately waste your time with so much walking, is the idea.
Yeah.
You can at least have better luck trying to recommend the Silver Case if the person you're recommending it to is already like acclimated to like playing visual novels. Because that's basically why you're even playing it, as for the story.
Yeah.
But I mean, for fuck's sake, one of the bosses is straight up Midorikawa from like that. Oh, jeez.
Oh boy, you wandered into the wrong neighborhood. Double teamed.
Yeah. So
that would have been a really good point to be using Con.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's a shame.
And it was all for nothing.
You son of a bitch. But yeah, they got Midorikawa in there, or as they're calling it, Kamui new type. Kamui NT. Cause yeah.
Jeez, I wonder where that's from.
Yeah, as of the as of the Silver Case references wasn't enough. It's just like having to keep going with everything like Suda's whole like Gundam kick that he's been on for the last few years.
Yeah, it just makes me think of Berserk. The joke about, oh well, there's a new Idol Master game been released, so we're not getting any chapters for another 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is with Suda and all the Gundam references of late? It's getting kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like
it's not that it's surprising or unexpected. It's just like, why?
Yeah, that is so weird. That said, though, Travis Strikes Again having just a parody of the colony drop scene was pretty amazing.
That's right.
The bit that just got me, I think, the hardest out of all the what the fuck moments in Travis Strikes Again. Because it's like, this is the most you have ever plagiarized anything in your life. You just recreated the exact same thing, but with the colony coming in from the opposite top corner.
Yeah, but it was also in like green screen dot matrix graphics, so it's hardly the same thing.
No, it was in game. It was in game because it was that DLC level, and and the whole idea was that it was implying that in actuality. Oh, for God's sake, this is where 206 was all this time. Yeah. But yeah, it was like the implication from that is that it's supposed to be like a stage transition, and the joke is that Travis essentially drops the colony on Australia just to get back to Earth.
I completely forgot. For some reason, I thought it was in one of the mid-level or between stage story chapters.
Yeah, with the visual novel stuff, which was just still amazing.
But then again, considering how many jokes and references were in those bits alone.
Yeah. So it was real overwhelming.
Yeah.
But God, was it ever like a strong example of showing that, man, Suda is back for real.
Oh yeah.
Still hoping that we get like some proper killer7 references or whatever in No More Heroes 3, because they're still going in with the Silver Case stuff, and Batman obviously has the link to killer7 by way of Dan.
I can imagine there's going to be a third remix of We're Finally Cowboys as well.
Oh yeah.
Because the one from the original version is good, but the version from No More Heroes 2 for Henry's boss fight is just amazing. Completely forgotten how good it was until I started listening to it. Because I put all my music in one big playlist and just hit shuffle.
Right,
And
yeah.
it popped up a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot how good this track was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew there was something to do with Kaidi and blood in this bit.
And there it is. There's number 12.
Astro Almeida.
Mm-hmm. Now we can go back to the main street, head to the post office, get that 7th figurine, and then just go on with our lives. Be done with this shitty neighborhood.
I tell you, I knew this place was bad when I moved in, but rent was just so cheap.
Yeah. That's Texas for you.
Even if half the buildings don't actually exist. Well, half of them.
Yeah. Oh well.
They all know what's coming.
They'll see. They'll all see.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it just sounds more terrifying.
I mean, have you seen the things we've been having to shoot and run past here? This isn't just a video game. This is just the average place in Texas.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure half of these people list InfoWars, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whatever. So... Yeah,
I forgot if you got the stamina ring back on again?
Yeah, I've been having it on, which is why I've only had to use 1 blood vial as con instead of 2.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I know that just running up to them to make them fall and then running back is fine, but I know, like, on this street, these guys respawn, so just why not put up a bit of a fight for a while?
I forget, can you take out the giant smiles with mask?
Maybe.
'Cause I didn't think you could aim up quite that high.
Yep, you can. Yeah, it's just they started booking it a lot faster once I got close. That's the thing.
I genuinely didn't think you could aim as high for to take out the eyes. Or eye, I should say.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like you can aim up high, it's just slow.
Yeah.
Oh. But again, you gotta be mindful of the fact that you have to reload after every shot.
Yeah, it's not until you get his upgrades, just fire. You can reload faster than you can fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like you don't even have to hit them in the eye, just anywhere near the head.
Yeah. And it's easier to get them once they're close enough and stop moving, because as long as you get them in their death animation, they don't actually explode.
Mm.
Yep. Because I think, like, the explosion radius is obviously big enough that, like, it makes up for that. You just run past him, who cares?
Yeah. He can live. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, he clearly did not live. He expired on his own. Okay, going back to Khan and just running to where we need to. Dangerous.
Running.
Don't care if there's a train there, we're going over the tracks.
Khan can outrun the train, even when it's just stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's somewhere on the right that we'll get into the post office or drugstore, whichever it is.
Hello, friend.
Yep. God shuns the everyday. Look in your inventory, dipshit. You have the phone. That is so blatant. It's like, you have an inventory.
Do we really need to handhold this hard?
Yeah. Just the realization that, man, our puzzles suck.
you've done well to make it this far. Are you another one of them reporters? Oh, you still here? What you need? Looking for Almeida, I
It's
couldn't
funny
care
how,
less
like,
about that disco
this game has
freak.
2 art style shifts for its
I won't have anything
cutscenes.
to do with him. Oh,
One
don't
of
get me
them
wrong.
being
I'm glad the
very
town is
clearly
flushed,
anime.
but do you have any
And
idea
yet
how
this
many
still
creeps
feels
with that
leagues
weird
better
smile
than
you'll
the
get?
actual real anime
Something's up with
cutscenes they
him.
get for that other
Although
section.
I don't quite know what. This is
I don't know.
all
The
for
handsome
me,
men
and
scenes
we
aren't without the.
respect tradition.
Yeah, I mean, they have their
Can't go
charm
wrong with a bunch
to
of
it. It's
newcomers who
just,
waltzed on in. No way.
it just has that, you know, just how, like, every, like, anime, like, that came out immediately after the shift from traditional cell animation to digital kind of looked?
Yeah, how
It's
they
got
all
too much of
think-
that same feel.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I really miss the old 90s exaggerated art styles that you used to get.
Yeah. I mean, not even so much like the art styles themselves, just like the sort of like techniques for just how making things look. Because it was the sort of thing where, you know, much like with the games that I've played on this stream for a lot of the time, it's like just certain things that were designed with CRTs in mind. That's just kind of how it ends up looking. Post office lock released because we got all of the Almeida collection.
Yeah, I know him. Almeida, right? He's a good
But yeah,
man.
because it's like there's
I'm not way
certain
into him
like
or anything.
like stuff that's
He did
used
his
for like
job, but
representing, you
didn't
know, like
excel.
bright or like glowing
He's one of those
sources of
guys
light.
nobody
They just have a
notices.
very
I
different
kinda
look and
think he
feel
was
to them
just
than
lucky.
how they're done with like
But it
more
is
modern
strange.
digital animation.
What? No.
Yeah,
just talking to
I picked up Serial Experiments
how could a
Lane
lowly
on
poster
Blu-ray a
boy
while
take
back,
over such a big
which
corporation?
is, you know,
Couldn't
I
have been me. He's
remember
hardly worth the
watching
shirt on
that
his back.
on
What an
VHS back in the
asshole.
day,
He sold the
and
damn town.
I need
He
to
sold our souls.
rewatch
That's how he
that
got
to
that
see
position. The damn fake.
like if it's lost anything in the transition to Blu-ray.
Yeah. Because it can be kind of a crapshoot depending on like which series have like actually cared enough about preserving their source material so that it can be easier for them to like scale it up for like HD and modern modern displays and resolutions.
Yeah.
Because if all you're left as the source is like the VHS tapes, then it's like you got a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah. They re-released, I think I mentioned it last time, the first 13 original episodes of Tenchi Muyo on Blu-ray, and it actually looks really good.
Yeah. Like, I think I remember watching them, like, on Funimation's websites because they got the license, like, after a while, and, like, watched it through there in HD, and, like, it was very solid.
Outlaw Star looks really good in HD as well. But it was a show with really bright colors and lots of everything just looked really good to begin with. So, you know, as long as they didn't screw it up too hard, that was always going to look good.
Yeah.
Martian successor to Desco as well, because I've got that on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, that's another one I feel I need to like do a rewatch of because I love that one.
Yeah. I'm planning on watching Outlaw Star and Nadesco back to back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I remember watching those on, I think, no, Outlaws. I was because over here, stuff that was on Toonami in the States, weren't always guaranteed to be shown on Cartoon Network over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hang on a minute, were they both on Sci-Fi Channel? But no, Outlaw Star was definitely on Toonami over here.
Yeah, I would know because like I watched Toonami back in the day, and that was definitely one of those shows that they had like around 2000, 2001.
So we used to get Outlaw Star, Toonami, and Gundam Wing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Outlaw Star, Dragon Ball Z, and Gundam Wing. I should say. We never got stuff like G Gundam.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't see that until like 2005, and I feel was cheapened for not having seen it until then.
Yeah, because it's like I remember watching Wing when it was relatively new, followed by G Gundam, and it was like even back then I was like, man, G Gundam is so much more my style.
Yep.
And it's not even coming from a perspective of going like a Gundam Wing sucks, because it's like I'm not that big of a UC Grognard,
Jeez,
but it's like,
jeez, you still are an ugly fella.
like come
How's
on.
it been, huh?
Gundam's a lot better when it just drops the pretenses of being anything like a proper real robot series, because even back then it was not going as far enough with it as it should have.
With Minovsky particles might as well be fairy dust.
Yeah, like when it already has to like rely on
I'm
that
not a
as part of its
monster, it's only a
conceits, when a whole bunch of other real robot shows like Votoms or Macross just go about it in a way that it's like, technology just got good enough that we were able to do this.
Yeah.
What more do you need? This is literally considered normal for the rest of us. Why do we need to kind of justify it further for viewers that are living in a reality where this isn't real?
Yeah, like with a lot of sci-fi bullshit, you can just be like, okay, this works because we have a special engine that lets us do these things. And I'm like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
No further explanations needed. I am on board with this.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, funny enough, with Macross, the only sort of thing that you could, like, energy concept that you could say, like, it does use a lot of, which is, like, fold energy. But that's less so for, like, the purposes of, like, the mechs in that series, and more that it's just the main way that music in Macross is able to have the power that it does.
Yeah. I mean, when it came to, like, energy sources and that, I just assumed that they found something on the SDF Macross itself. It was like, okay, we can now do totally cool things.
Yeah.
With super energy.
Yeah, it was more like they got the idea for, like, for realizing that, oh wait, like, 100% transforming vehicles or machines is now totally doable, especially for, like, you know, large ships and space travel and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, the only thing that I feel kind of like, plays with that notion a bit too loosely might be Macross 7, and that's only because the main character is both a VF pilot and a musician. Like Sound Force, that's their whole deal, is that all of their robots are piloted by their musical instruments.
Yeah, but Macross 7 is its own kind of special.
Yeah. It's only a shame, though, that, like, the production quality and pacing for, like, the first half is kind of as shoddy as it is.
Yeah, I think I just, like, I'd heard people say that the second half is so good.
Yeah.
I just didn't make it through the first because it was bad.
Yeah, it's like, you would almost have better luck watching the Macross FB7 movie, which is basically a recap clip show of Macross 7, as seen through the lens of the cast of Macross Frontier. Because everyone in universe is like, man, Firebomb was awesome. I wonder whatever happened to those guys. And then, like, it's just like characters like stumbling across like a VHS tape that is just showing events of Macross 7 and being like, here's what happened on the actual Macross 7, what Firebomber was up to, how they became, like, why they became as famous as they did. And it just,
now,
yeah.
H1's behind the Macross.
And just the whole idea, basically, like, it ends with, like, the cast of Macross Frontier going like, man, that was inspirational. Let's do, like, a big, like, medley cover of various Firebomber songs as, like, a tribute to them. Because already characters in Frontier are technically part of, like, a Firebomber cover band. That's actually true in game, and some of them even have their own outfits that are designed to resemble, like, Basra and Meline and all those other characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a fun time. Okay.
I guess there are so many series which I either need to rewatch or give another try.
Mm-hmm. Ermeda.
Yes. I remember that. And Texas Branco.
Yeah. Powerful society.
Not terrifying.
More relaxed way of life.
Smooth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. "93 lies and 7 truths."
I remember that bit as well.
Boy, ain't that the truth. Corporations built on lies.
Man, Travis is dropping some deep shit right now.
Man, if this game was any more modern, we'd basically be going over to, like, Amazon headquarters to assassinate Jeff Bezos.
We're not doing that. just in case the FBI's listening.
Yeah, okay, so guaranteed.
I've got the answers here just in case.
Mm-hmm, that's right. Oh, man. How many continents were illustrated in the World Peace Bulletin?
Nope. 4.
God damn it. Well,
do you want me to just give you the answers here?
Yeah, fair enough, because admittedly, this is another case of the streamer's curse, where if I was playing this by myself, I'd have an easier time remembering, like, what was all the details in those pictures. So yeah, you said 4 for the continents, right?
Yes.
Got it. And then, yeah, color that Andre Olmedo's afro in financial reform billboard.
Purple.
Yeah. What did it say on the t-shirt? Which was Branco.
Bronco.
Bronco, okay, because you mentioned one of them where it has Texas Bronco, but it was misspelled.
Yeah, I remember Texas Bronco.
Yeah.
Perfect City.
Perfect City, there we go. The question is number what? 6. Yeah, this is the 6th one. And then, what's the chairman wearing in the billboard? More relaxed way of life. Okay, that I at least remember because it was the last one I saw. A suit.
Yep.
There we go. Ugh. Getting close to the boss. I hope I don't choke on this one because I know it was, like, weirdly tense.
Yeah, this one you can either do in, like, 30 seconds or it takes forever.
Yeah. Which, okay, that's weird. Why did it...
First one is 3.
Oh, God.
I think you hit 4.
Oh, you son of a... Oh, yeah, because it's how many people appear with Andre Olmeda, so it's like it's excluding him.
Yeah, in total, yeah.
Okay, 3, 4... Purple. I'm assuming, I'm remembering correctly, that was purple.
Yep.
I swear my brain is not this bad. Okay, a perfect city. 6.
And a 6 and a suit.
Got it. Okay. President's psychological loyalty analysis. That's a real... It's a real concerning way of putting this.
That's not questionable at all.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sorry, only First Life
Drink.
employees are allowed from this point.
This is an emergency message from Mr. Olmeda. Let Mr. Smith through. I repeat, let Mr. Smith through.
Are you Mr. Smith?
Ugh.
My
better.
sincere apologies, Mr. Smith. Please forgive me. But I'll tell you something, though. Even we don't know what goes on inside this building. Anyway, please, come in.
Sure, whatever. We'll just
Don't mind if I do.
walk right in, I guess. Ah, finally, Amazon headquarters.
Pay your fucking taxes, Bezos.
Yes, that's actually the killer7's true role. We're the taxmen.
We're coming for you next, Musk.
Don't think your recent divorce is gonna gain pity from us, Gates. Topical.
That's not dating this playthrough at all.
No, it is not.
Although, someone pointed out the other day that Bill Gates is getting divorced just as Prince Philip dies and the Queen single again. Wonder if they're connected. Whoops.
I knew Amazon was a lie.
I get the blame for this.
Alright, here we go. Yeah. No vinculum gate, though. I guess that's the only downside you could say about this chapter, is that we don't get another chance for Ravon.
Is a paradise. Life here is perfectly autonomous, a model of peace. But our corporation, First Life Inc., it doesn't exist, no sir. It just runs commercials. You see, people judge books by the covers.
Too true.
Today's job is done.
Like,
yes, you just might be
if you're just able to get away with, like, spending so much money on marketing and commercials and just having that be the way you get your revenue back. Like, who cares about making a product?
I mean, it worked for Enron.
Me? Is
Sure.
it really me? Wow, I can't believe it.
Relax, Clemens. Your job has just begun. Calm down, or you'll frighten Lady Luck away.
You're right.
This is another one of those cutscenes where I think after the first one at the start of this chapter, this is the other very memorable one.
Your job will be here any moment.
Like, partly because of Olmeda, obviously, but the other because of Clemens.
Yeah.
And like, this whole rocket car.
The car starts going about 200 miles an hour and his face just starts flapping in the wind.
Yeah, just trying to break the sound barrier.
I remember that was, I can't remember, it was a games magazine in the UK that had a big, like 4-page spread on Killer 7 as a preview, and one of the screen caps that they had was a picture of Clemens's face as if he's distorted, and I was like, gotta find out about this.
Yeah, like that was the other thing that I recall seeing showing up a lot in trailers for this, because it's like, oh, this is weird.
This is what I call driving yourself to death.
Yeah. At least the G's are not liquefying his eyes.
Small favors.
Yeah, just because I think of stuff going this fast, I am just reminded of like that end fight scene from Macross Plus against the X9. Where Gold is just like pushing his craft to like its utmost limits. That, and also we have like read a manga by Suda51 that was about a dude like going so fast as to try and break the sound barrier.
And just wound up breaking every bone in his body.
And getting a weird familiar as part of his hallucinations.
You know, no one said it was all bad.
Yeah.
If I catch Heaven's smile, you gotta kill me.
Oh, there go the eyeballs.
Who can kill them?
And then the military just had to get involved.
Could have avoided all this.
You literally have a professional assassination on scene, pal. We don't need you.
He was willing to give up to us. But no.
Yeah.
I'm General Lynch from the United States Emergency Countermeasure Defense Department. I want to thank you for cooperating in the capture of Mr. Olmeda. As you may know, this city is run by the military.
You only assume this is a cooperation because I am not blowing all your brains out.
So I ask you.
Well, in fairness, it's more of them than the.
General.
True.
Countdown,
very
sir.
true.
We are only 1/8 men.
On your mark.
And 1 woman.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
that ain't good.
Nope.
I told you to kill me. No.
See, he asked for death, and you had to make it all complicated. Now he's got to turn into a big Afro monster, and this is all on your heads.
What are you gonna do about it?
You had one fucking job, U.S. military. Now Clemens is going to be an orphan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just Clemens. All the other cult members, like, they don't count. They basically don't exist at this point.
Clemens is the only one we know, ergo he's the only one we care about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and his blood is apparently, like, this hyper-acidic.
Yeah, hyper-toxic.
Yeah, because it's like... Yeah, that's what happens when he just injects himself with every disease known to man and builds a natural immunity to it.
Now his afro has become sentient.
Yeah. Perfectly detached from his head. Okay, now this.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not sure if it's random, but you can do this entire boss fight in like 30 seconds.
I want to say that like there's a set way to do it. It's just that I forget the specific path to do so. It's just that this entire arena is made to feel hyper claustrophobic.
Yeah, I usually just stumble upon him by accident.
Yeah, because it's like the part that makes it extra tense by the end is that he gets in range of you, you die instantly.
Yep, just like the mini bosses.
Oh yeah. Okay, I need to just lure him this way, I think. Oh jeez. Okay, this is...
Also, I forgot how much the tentacles look like bacon strips.
Yeah, they do. I also distinctly remember that being something that got mentioned as part of Chip and Ironicus' playthrough all those years. Yeah. Amazing how, like, it's still most relevant. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was the easy way to go about it, because when you trigger him to appear, like, the trailers, the ambulances just form a perfect loop. So instead of just going down random corners willy-nilly, it's just keep an eye on him, get him into a position where you know you can loop around to where his afro is visible, and then just shoot it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you don't know that, yeah, this is probably the one fight that I could say could come close to possibly making this game scary.
Yeah. Well, this is arguably the one proper boss fight in the game. I feel like the others are more of a shooting gallery, whereas or a gimmick like Curtis in the next chapter.
Yeah, Curtis is kind of a gimmick, but then again, I mean, like Angel, I think still counts as one, because there's like a pattern you have to adhere to. You know, you have to bait her into attacking so you can get to her backside and shoot the weak points.
True.
Huh? And then there's like the Prime Minister bosses, which I think follow a similar pattern.
This blood.
So that to me feels more like a shooting gallery.
Tastes like Mr. Olmeida's.
I guess it's still kind of.
So.
Well, I guess it could be both.
He's dead, isn't he?
At least we're in agreement that the fight with Julia is a clear gimmick, and Jean de Paul sucks.
I only attained Mr. Olmeida's level
and
Clemens,
what's her name?
Ayame Blackburn.
No. Yeah, Ayame Blackburn.
Yeah. Yeah, hers
her
is.
Fight.
Oh yeah. That's a real war of attrition, that fight.
Rest assured, Master Olmeida.
That's one where like you have to use Con if you want to stand a chance.
Con or Mask. Because at least by that point I think you get like at least one upgrade for Mask, which makes his ability to attack a bit more viable. Or at least I think I might think of that. I think that's more the case in the second fight with her.
Yeah, the first one you really need to use Con because the play area is so big. I'm fairly certain the second one's doable with just Mask.
Definitely, yeah. I'm remembering that more clearly just because that second fight, that's where the attrition really comes into play because she just takes so much.
Nice.
Yep. Day when he stops smiling is the day we remember his smile.
Dude.
Except until a couple days later, in which we forget, because the internet has reduced all our attention spans to that of a goldfish.
Sorry, what was that? I was looking at a cat.
I mean, I'd say something snide, but you did say you were looking at a cat, which is just as important and valid. So I'll let it slide.
In fairness, it may have been a possum.
Hmm.
And then there's this motherfucker.
I hate his shoulder pads.
Fair.
We're just shooting him right there. Oh man. Yeah, so it's like I think we're like 2.5 hours in. I think we can definitely just get in however like many minutes into this first part of this chapter, because this is another 2-parter, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm a bit on a roll now that I might as well make more progress into this. Probably won't make it far enough that I'll face Ayame Blackburn for the first time. But yeah, this is quite the character.
He is a peach.
So way you make a very strong first impression of your character.
Just murder everyone from a first-person view.
Yeah.
Just going into my building. Hope I don't shoot anyone for fun.
Yeah. Oh, you mean don't? Oh, you don't mean? Yeah, it's like no. It's just, of course he's going in to shoot everyone. That's how he gets his kicks.
Well, at least he didn't give up shooting for Lent.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this is just like a strong opening cutscene. Because it's like, it's establishing that like whoever this character is, even before you know who he is letting you know that like this is someone you're gonna have to deal with, and he's a bad dude.
It's kind of the fact that he just kills everyone. Like, yes, you are playing assassins, but the difference is the folks that you're only really killing your targets, whereas he's just sort of like open season on everyone.
Yeah. I mean that girl in his limo was presumably like a prostitute or something, and I was just like, nah, I'm done. God,
And at the end of the day, you're not even sure he was there to kill anyone specifically. He was just sort of like, I'm bored.
Yeah. That's Curtis Blackburn, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, yeah, we could go to the cinema, or... Now, stop me if you've heard this one.
Stop me if you've heard this one, Garcian. Have you decided on your vote?
What's got 2 thumbs and loves going on a killing spree? This guy.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what we were talking about obviously earlier on, that this is the game's first like and only really character specific chapter.
Come on.
Much in the same way that, again, like the 3rd chapter in the Silver Case was specifically having to do with a particular character in your main cast.
Damn it.
Yeah, again with the idea, this is where I get the idea that
What are you doing?
there was meant to be, the game was essentially meant to be twice the length it was.
Definitely.
With more
Are you gonna finish
character-based
what?
stuff.
I don't have time for this
And
shit.
when it came down, when the
with
orders
my
came down from
classes.
Capcom, right, you've got to, make this game at some point. They were like, oh shit.
Yeah, which is probably less Capcom as a whole and more just Shinji Mikami coming in with the suggestion of like, okay, I know I'm trying to keep the gates of hell shut so you can work on this thing, but maybe come up with a deadline, please.
I don't want to be the bad guy, but please, for the love of God, give us a game.
Yeah. I know we've already lost one of our
Master of
Capcom 5. Don't make this a 3-only project.
Please, my children need food.
The Surge.
Yeah.
It's Curtis. Curtis? The one who killed Dan years ago.
Yep. That's how,
It's
like,
as
this
if
is
fate
connected.
has
Curtis,
woke
the
him
man
up.
we saw just indiscriminately killing
There's
people
someone
in an
who
office
move.
building was,
Shall I
like,
take
the
care
one
of him?
who apparently killed Dan Smith at some point.
Curtis? No, it's all right.
Which
He
is
got
the-
over it.
He's just
Yeah.
a punk with
He got over being killed. He didn't get
Dan's
over.
more than he can handle.
Well, he got over dying. He didn't get
As you
over
wish.
being killed.
That's true. I mean, after all, he did discover later on that it was Batman who sold him out to Curtis that got him killed in the first place.
Yeah, bet that was an awkward conversation.
Yeah.
The damn floor.
So it does lead into a very interesting, like, conundrum as far as, like, the origins of these characters and who's died how much. Because we already know, like, what the formation of the Killer 7 is, like, as they are in this game. But, it basically is the sort of thing where, like, it requires everyone to have essentially died at least once. And Dan is basically the only character out of this whole group that has somehow managed to die twice. If we're
That
not...
we know of.
Yeah, that we know of, and if we're somehow not counting, like, the in-game deaths as part of that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's part of what, like, kind of feeds into, like, how I have a bit of issues regarding, like, the main sort of, like, some of the main plot points of this game, because I feel like stuff regarding that detail with the formation of the Killer 7, who's died and how many times, and what's known about it is, like... I still maintain, I think that should be a bit more clear-cut and known as far as, like, what the details of that are, because of how important it is to the characters. The rest of the details regarding, like, the political nature of all the different parties involved is, like, that could be as muddy as it needs to be, because I think it's still, like, the actions from all those parties are still in service of this game's overall theme of, like, East versus West, and, like, the whole kind of predetermined fate that everything has, as everyone is just a cog of some greater system.
There's also the fact that, like, parts of the game feel deliberately self-contradicting.
Yes. Which is made even worse when you try and look it up in Hand of Killer 7, and you realize, oh wait, this is based on older material, or like an older version of the story. That is clearly not the case anymore. So it's is Garcian the one that is in control of all the personalities, or is it Harmon? Is it both? I don't know. This is kind of important. Anyway,
the player Killer 7.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to an amusement park. I do like this area. It's it's a very distinct looking place, honestly, compared to everything else.
Thing is, I think this is the part of the game I remember the least about, other than the boss fight. And I honestly don't know why. I think it's because Cloudman just pushes everything else out of my brain.
Yeah, honestly, I think the second half of this chapter, when you go to, like, Curtis's place, I think is where I remember it the least. I think it's either that or large portions of the chapter after this with the handsome men.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the handsome men chapter.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like, I remember it too, but only insofar as the handsome men themselves, the alleyway puzzle where you have to listen for the music, and the color swatches.
Yeah.
Everything else in terms of visuals in the environment is just kind of there.
I remember the puzzle you're talking about because it has one of my favorite tracks in the game.
Right, yeah. Yeah, old Wander the Traveler song.
Yeah, nothing bad's ever happened in a theme park. Especially when children are involved.
Yeah. And don't worry, if any, no one can claim that anyone has ever died at a Disneyland because there have been no bodies left for people to find.
That someone, I can't remember where it was. I read it, but someone mentioned that, like, legally they can say no one is at Disneyland because the doctors that they have on staff there, like someone, I think legally someone can only claim to be, like, you can only say this person is dead when a doctor has pronounced them as dead, and the doctors always pronounce them as dead off-site.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking genius.
Yeah, it's how insanely genius in trying to maintain your illusion that this is the happiest place on Earth.
Yeah, like, that is legitimately A, clever as hell, and B, some actual evil corporation shit.
Yeah.
I'm like almost in awe of them. Oh, that's right. This is where we start getting is it the mithril smile?
Yeah, something like that. It's stuff where, like, it's trying to encourage a bit more that you have Mask in your party. You should try using him a bit more for certain combat situations.
Yeah. And as you know, because the obvious love hearts around him every time he has a cutscene in the game. You know, that's not a hint.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Faces at him. You know he does.
Oh yeah, I'm not even denying that. That's real good. Yeah, I'll come back later when I get more thick blood. 75 just doesn't seem like enough.
Yeah. Seems like a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah. In fact, I don't even think I maxed out the blood machine during the last chapter for whatever reason. I was just kind of blazing through it.
And that's like the easiest chapter to do it in.
Well, yeah, because you get so many of the Almeida smiles spawning in all over the place. If you really want to get to the maximum, you can just do it there.
See, this is him going, "Oh, Mask, I love you. Can I give you a hug?"
It's like, and Mask goes for a hug, but his instincts take over, and it turns into a suplex.
just gives him a tombstone pile driver out the window.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I was trying to give this guy who was choking the Heimlich maneuver. Oh no, I suplexed him.
Oh man, I done it again.
Funny enough, it still got the food that was lodged in his throat, like, knocked out of there. He's fine.
Yes,
partially fine.
Unfortunately, you replaced the food with his skull. He has more problems now. Big ones. These dudes.
Yeah, and because they don't, and like the lock-on is even more of a pain to try and work with. Oh, yeah. Well, more of this.
So much for that blood you were getting.
Yeah. Oh well, but it's we still got the main event.
See, those smiles, the ones that you need to spin round. I just wound up using Mask on them anyway because.
But I'm still gonna try spinning them around with this, because at least when the because at least when their back's visible, like the critical lock-on ability works very well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, you barely even need it.
But it just makes it faster, you know? Breeze has caused the balloons to get caught.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, it was douchebag.
Yeah, I'm just remembering even more, like, back to Chip's LP, and how just, like, around this point in the game, just got, like, sick and tired of having to, like, try and, like, summarize what Iwazaru is saying. And then, like, one of them was just, like, in large typeface, "Use the ring!" Just really stop giving a shit about Iwazaru and how dumb his overly long hints are.
Damn it, Iwazaru, stop fucking around.
Ow.
Oh, hi there.
Did not see him.
It's just funny when you get to some of the bigger enemies and like Khan's head is just at crotch height.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like the implications here. Not a fan.
Okay. Alright then. At least checking down here first, because... Oh yeah, that's right, I need the time ring, or whatever it is, for that. I remember.
Yeah, time
ring. Which...
The second most useless ring in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, they just came up with it, like, just for situations like that.
Fuck you.
6x.
Stray Almeida smile.
There we go.
Yeah.
And did that... No, that wasn't one of those that's designed to, like, unlock all the other Smiths, I think. No. Because that was... Because one of the tiny one of the tiny smiles when I used it in Make Cloud Man, that definitely unlocked all 6 at the spot.
Yeah, I think it's... I know the Carmilla smiles definitely do, and I think it's the micro smiles.
Yeah, which that was, like, kind of a micro-sized one, but it wasn't the right kind.
Yeah, it was the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the wrong tiny smile.
Oh,
hi, Susie.
Look who it is. Mr. Smith. Yep. Everyone loves amusement parks. Until you get to the reality of having to be in an amusement park with other people. Yeah, she gets it. As someone that's not a fan of crowds, it's like, I don't think I could ever go to an amusement park ever again. Plus, I'd probably come off as, like, some even bigger weirdo for going there because I'd just be going by myself.
Fat dads, Karens, and annoying kids. Yep, I am on 100% on Susie's side here.
Yeah. I think everyone can relate.
Susie Smith, the true hero of Killer 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what Walt Disney envisioned when he came up with Disney World.
Yeah.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie. Bye, Susie. Okay, now let's head back outside, use that time ring, and then go back to the other cinemas because I know that all these other ones, one of them, has just the thing we need for Mask.
A sense of humor? Yeah, for a second there, I thought that he split into 2 smaller smiles.
Yeah. Yeah, that
that
was a bit weird. It's like he didn't realize, oh wait, that was, no, they were just directly behind him. His fat ass was blocking them.
I was like, the GameCube version is so different. Wow.
Yeah, it's the power of 480p. Losing all those extra details from higher resolution makes it better.
So that's why people say that this is the best version.
I mean, on one hand, I won't, like, begrudge people for, like, wanting, you know, stuff that, say, could, like, have games running at, like, a higher frame rate or whatever, you know? Because it's like, that's what stuff like the XBLA version of Perfect Dark is for, you know? Like, it looks nicer than the N64 version, maybe not as pure, but at least it runs smoother. But by the same token, it's like, some games I feel like were already so goddamn great even when they were released that it's like, I still see very little problem in experiencing them in their original form. Especially funny enough with like old PC games, weirdly enough. Oh, oh hey, McDucky Swag or Gigon, as I know him like gay and what other discords I'm in. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, just talking about all manner of stuff, especially like because we were starting to talk about like oldie games and experiencing them as they were originally intended, like we're doing here with the GameCube version of Killer 7. But it's like, it's funny, like I found myself with like some old PC games, specifically from like 3D stuff from the mid to late 90s, where I'm honest to God preferring them like to look as close to how they would have back then in terms of resolution and like color depth and things like that. Oh, am I playing on a CRT equivalent? No, unfortunately not. I don't have one yet. Not now that I'm back up here. Yeah. I mean, like, I could probably find one just lying around up here in Alaska, but, like, it's another matter of trying to make sure I find one that's in good condition and has S-video at the minimum. But, like... But yeah, it's the sort of thing where, like, with, like, some old PC games, especially stuff that's, like, of the Quake variety, that, like, when I last played through Half-Life 1 and its expansion packs, I actually played through them in software renderer mode, of all things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's the sort of thing where I look at it, and if people are like, oh man, 4K Half-Life 1, the game the way it was always meant to be, and I'm like, bitch, that is not 640 by 480 in software mode. What are you talking about?
What is this widescreen you're talking about?
Oh, 4K, you mean the resolution that makes all of the HUD elements ineligible because they don't scale up?
Yeah. It's like, I'm of the opinion that, yes, like, playing games as they were intended to be played is a noble pursuit, but I like playing them.
Yeah.
So...
I think it's easier to accept scaling them up when you get to like the mid 2000s, where games were moving from DirectX 8 to 9, because I think that like by that point, devs, especially Western ones, got a lot better thinking, okay, maybe we should actually future-proof this stuff so that people can like have next to no problems running this on newer operating systems and hardware. And yeah, I'm from Alaska. Yeah. It's funny, like, I moved up here, like, because I just could not keep living down in Washington for too long, especially when, like, the pandemic hit. That's just kind of how it is.
I'm Scottish.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Or not, I don't know. I mean, like... I mean, you're living in the part of the world that has gone through Brexit hell, so it's like, I don't know.
Plus, I was the idiot who decided to move in the middle of a pandemic, so I don't know what that says about me. Nothing good.
I mean, your moving during a pandemic didn't involve having to take a plane to a whole other state, like I did.
No, but considering the amount of shit I was carrying over, it might as well have needed a plane.
I don't know, that's probably better than like what I've had to deal with, where I've basically been away from most of my game consoles and collection for almost a year at this point.
True. I decided that the day I was going to actually move into the new place would be the day that I brought over my TV, my game consoles, my PC. I was like, I am not suffering for longer than I have to without that shit.
Yeah. God.
Hi, Travis.
Also, these guys.
And then there's these assholes.
Abe number 1 and Abe number 2. You can tell I'm not that well versed in like what the current like Japanese politics are. Just the fact that that's my only frame of reference for like Japanese prime ministers. And also the fact that no one even likes Shinzo Abe anyway.
Shinzo Abe is, Shinzo Abe always has. Shinzo Abe forever will be.
Yep.
Oh, they're Slipknot fans. I will have my revenge!
Yeah, your will lives on in the man who shot you square in the face.
And that's problematic in its own ways.
Yeah. Oh no, I gotta loop all the way back around just because it does not let me go back to where Travis was.
It's technically one big loop as opposed to 2 small ones.
Yeah.
That's kind of clever.
Yeah, talking about how the Hellion goes nuts about Curtis, which, you know, the Hellion is Dan's nickname.
Yes, recovered.
No, I didn't need to talk to you again on that. I meant to hit down. Yeah. But yeah, it's like... Yeah, it's weird how it ends up working with, like, older PC games, because it's just... The whole point of having a PC is that you would have, like, just all, like, the future, like, processing power and hardware to, like, make it run even better than it did in the past, which technically you can still do, like, on a pure frame rate level, but even then it's just weird things always crop up if you try and just keep pushing the resolution and, like, other mods and stuff higher and higher. Because, I bring up Half-Life as an example, and, like, a big reason for why I found, like, the software renderer, like, method of playing through that appealing is because it gets rid of, like, the texture filtering that is basically permanently on there in OpenGL, and can only really be, like, removed in OpenGL if you're using a console command to, like in an auto-executable to just get rid of it. There we go. Plus, the aforementioned issue with, like, HUD elements just not scaling up because they were, like, just straight PNGs and not, like, vectors or whatever that were designed to, like, change with, like, with resolutions.
Yeah. I actually need to get back into playing Black Mesa, because I played through Half-Life, the original Half-Life, a while back. And I got Black Mesa just before it got out of beta. But got through, like, got up to On a Rail, which was probably my least favorite chapter in the original game, and was like, oh yeah, that's right, this sucks. And
yeah.
Stopped. And just never bothered going back to it, even though, like, from what I've read, on the Black Mesa version of On a Rail was cut down, like, to about 1/3 its original length.
Yeah.
So, really need to get back into that at some point.
Yeah, so... hold on. I need to actually go back to one of the older save rooms, because unless I am misremembering, like, what the yeah, because, like, the theater that's second from the right is the one I need to go into, but I don't have Dan unlocked, and yet there's a save room right in there that's behind it. So it's like, screw that, I'm just going to backtrack with my 1,000 deciliters of blood and just dump it all.
They knew what they were doing, the bastards.
Yeah. Which are coming up on about 3 hours or so of recording, which I don't know, like, if or when I'll just, like, stop in the next few minutes or in the next half hour, who knows. Yeah, it takes 3 against the backside smiles.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
It's like he says, just set him on fire. Piece of cake.
Yeah. And it's not like, and because we're all maxed out on blood, it's like there's less of a priority to get those those weak points right now.
Yep.
Here we go. Speed up time.
Dangerous.
Must move speedwards.
Yeah, this hallway was clearly made for Khan.
With his 17 camera angles.
Yeah.
And now to unlock everyone.
There we go. And first, dump off all this thick blood. Let's see if it accepts all 1,000 before it just breaks.
So this is going to take half an hour. So, have you read any good books lately?
No. I mean, Not really. I mean, it's mostly just other video games. I mean, already talked about Kingdom Hearts, already talked about the Bouncer.
Yeah, our prerequisite bouncer diatribe for the stream.
Our Bouncer threat. There's also No More Heroes 3 coming out, which is still my main game I'm looking forward to buying.
Yep.
Oh hey, it did take all 1,000.
Oh hey. Imagine it's not going to take much more though.
Yeah, probably not. So... Jeez.
Oh, come on.
Still 8 more for Kevin. I mean, whatever. It's Kevin. He sucks. No one cares.
Fucking prima donna. No one likes you, Kevin.
Yeah, so...
That's why your parents called you Kevin. Kevin's a loser name.
What?
Oh yeah, I did get, like, her double tap.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty neat ability, all things considered.
Dan gets triple tap, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well also just pump a little into Coyote. And there we go. I think that's all we need to spend for Blood Serum right now.
Yep, that works.
But yeah, other things besides that. I mean, No More Heroes 3 is still like the main game I want to get later this year. Although there have been plenty of still a couple other games I'm wanting to get as well. Because like around that same time, the System Shock remake is coming out.
Dangerous.
Oh, I am so looking forward to that.
Yeah, I played that last demo they put out, and like it filled me with a confidence that like, yes, this is absolutely going to make good on the promises of like what they were setting out to do. And which was obviously after they had to restart development a couple years in because they were kind of getting a bit too far out of their league on certain things.
Yeah, from what I understand, they were like trying, like with game design, you want to, think big and then scale down.
Yeah.
From what I heard, they just weren't scaling down enough.
Yeah, they weren't scaling down enough, and they were kind of focusing a lot more on just trying to come up with like all kinds of other like ideas that hadn't really been done in the original System Shock.
Yeah.
Even though it was kind of getting to a point where like this is clearly getting away from like what people even wanted in the first place, which is a faithful remake. Because
yeah, it sounded like we're trying to make System Shock 2.5.
Something like that. I mean, like, it's like System Shock reimagining, not remake, I guess is the good way to put it. And it's the sort of thing where it's like, Warren Spector literally said it himself. Like, System Shock 1 was so ahead of its time that all you would need to do to update that game is just improve the visuals, sound, and provide a modern control scheme. And you would have a game that still wipes the floor with, like, so many, like, modern games today. Yeah, like that's how powerful that game is.
It took System Shock 2 a good decade for people to start reevaluating it.
Yeah.
And now people are like, yeah, that's one of the best games of that generation.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing where, like, System Shock 2 is a good game. It's one of my absolute favorites ever, but that's kind of with the caveat that I'm not that fond overall of the more RPG focus that it has.
And I see, I'm kind of the opposite. Like, it's a really good sci-fi horror that's also an RPG, and for me, the RPG elements just sell it.
Maybe, but I think part of that is also because I did play the original System Shock, and that one I feel was a lot more true to kind of what I want out of a lot of the immersive sims, where it's like the tools you have very clear, tangible benefits with like the simulation and environment around you and are more immediate in that regard. Whereas with System Shock 2, it's like some of that's still in there, but you're not really able to get the full effects of it unless you level up in a certain direction, like a good amount.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem I have. Not to mention that as soon as you get off the Von Braun and into Rickenbacker, a lot of like the game's quality just nosedives real bad.
Yeah, but I mean, if they had just turned the Rickenback into like another 2 or 3 floors of the Von Braun and not bothered with the body of the many, I feel like it would have been a stronger ending.
Yeah, because as it stands, it's like System Shock 1 is at least still way more consistent with itself as far as like getting to the climax. Because at least you're not leaving the station at any point to go into a lesser area. It's just kind of ramping up very well. Like, the only thing that could be seen as a downside to that ending is, like, the final fight with Shodan in cyberspace, which is conceptually cool, but the cyberspace stuff was kind of more on the weaker side of things in that game to begin with.
Yeah, again, I feel that was one of those things where they had the right ideas.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't know how to put them into operation, or have the tools to actually do what they envisioned.
Yeah, because it's like the controls are a thing in the original System Shock, but I feel I've had less trouble getting used to how they work like in the main game. Cyberspace, though, feels like a whole other level of clunky by comparison.
Yeah, it feels more like a really badly programmed version of Descent.
Yeah, which is why, like, when I played like the last demo for the remake, where they finally had cyberspace implemented, I was like, okay, this definitely leagues ahead of what they had in that original. It was at the very least, I feel, on par in terms of feel, like with like the 0G sections in Prey. Like the new one from Arcane.
Yeah.
That one I felt that did a very, very good job.
Yeah, I've got the remaster, or whatever it was whatever version it was they released of the first game.
Mm-hmm. The enhanced edition.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, I feel like, granted, I was playing it with the benefit of more recent games. I think I had tried playing the original version years ago, but just couldn't get to grips with it. And I feel like, it is a game that does need someone to give it a second pass and just be like, okay, you can't do this, but what if you do this? Just sort of like an editor to do a second draft on it.
Kinda, but even then, it's like that's really only on like the control front itself, not really in terms of like the mechanics that govern like the game space and all that stuff. Because otherwise, it's still very solid on that front.
And I mean, System Shock 2 had god awful controls to begin with, anyway.
Yeah, it kind of did, but at least it had the benefit of still having mouse look like in there from the outset and not needed to be modded in, which is the thing that System Shock 1 needed. Which, as it turns out, like, I think there was like from like a podcast years ago that was like interviews with like ex-Looking Glass developers, and one of them, I think, brought up the subject of mouse look and was like, that was actually something that, like, I think it was implied that they had the idea of like considering that, but the reason they didn't do it is because due to the sort of frame rates that they could get on the computers at the time, trying to have a game with mouse look at like sub 20 frame rate is very nausea inducing. Just by nature of like how of like trying to translate as much of those minute like movements that you can manage with like with a mouse compared to digital inputs on a keyboard.
I can't remember what game it was. I think it was called something like Agony or something like, it was some name that started with an A. It was a 2D platformer with mouse look aiming. And me and one of my friends were playing it, and it was the first time we'd ever used keyboard and mouse in a game. We were like, keyboard and mouse?
Yeah.
What kind of nonsense is this? Okay, I'll handle the keyboard, you handle the mouse, because clearly this game was not designed for one mortal to play.
That feels like something that's like on the level of people not understanding how the N64 controller is meant to be held.
Yeah.
It's like, am I expected to hold all three prongs with two hands? No, you dumbass. You use your left hand to hold the middle and the right one to hold the right.
Or something one of my friends told me was the first time he ever used a mouse. The person who was teaching him, I think he said he was only like 8 or 9 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, okay, so take the mouse and use it to select this object here, and just pick the mouse up at the mouse off the table and just plastered it on the screen. And was like, what do I do now?
Oh man. Yeah, that remake I feel is gonna be pretty good. Yeah, I can't wait for that. And aside from that, the only other game I want this year is one that's already out, and that's R-Type Final 2.
Oh, I've played that. It's the methods for route select are so much less arcane this time.
Yeah, like I actually saw that. It's just you basically hit one of like a few orbs near the end of the 5th stage, and it like sets you on 3 different branches.
Yeah, so much easier.
Protector Z Smile.
Vemos.
Bye, Smile. Or no? Okay, I didn't realize the range was so short on that.
Oh right, yeah.
Vemos.
Or what am I missing?
Vemos.
Huh.
That is... Okay, I am very confused by that. Why did it... Well, that was weird. But yeah, you were saying stuff about like R-Type Final 2?
Yeah, I played that. I would say that it's... See, the problem I have with the game is that rather than, you know, like, performing certain requirements with certain ships, like, use this ship for X number of minutes, you know, complete this stage with this ship, blah, blah, blah. You have, like, a crafting system.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that when I played the demo for a bit, which is like... I feel like I can give or take on that, if only because it's still gonna amount to, like, more or less the same amount of time sink, because you have to play the game anyway to get those materials.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that the game is not generous at all. So, you know, you do, like, one entire playthrough, and it feels like you've got enough to maybe unlock one craft if you're lucky. And it just, like, as you say, like, the actual time commitment probably will work out to be about the same. But it just feels like, you know, you're doing more for less, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. At the very least, like, I do think, just from, like, watching full playthroughs and seeing stuff of it, I think it at least succeeds at being better than the first R-Type Final. Just from, like, purely on the basis of, like, its stages and pacing.
I think the difference is the original R-Type Final was, you know, it was essentially one campaign, whereas this one's supposed to be like the greatest hits from Operation Last Dance. So like, while you're doing this, these guys are doing this. So it kind of feels a lot more disconnected to me.
Kinda, yeah. But then again, it's like, I feel there was some amount of disconnect when going from stage to stage in Final 1. But I think it's the sort of thing where it's like, it's better than Final 1, but I think at the end of the day, Delta is still going to be unmatched.
Oh, absolutely. Delta's the best game in the series.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Final, for me, is a close second, because I do enjoy it quite a lot. But, I mean, they like... From what I've seen, like, half the actual ships aren't even in the game yet. They're planning on unlocking them with different patches and updates and so forth.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure a good portion of those are ones where it's like, the ones that specifically aren't there are more than likely ones related to other shmups by IREM, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure nothing from Image Fight or X Multiply is in there.
Not at the moment, no. Mr. Helly's in there, but it's a password. No one's found what the password is yet.
Yeah, I only saw that there were like 2 passwords found currently, and that was for like...
the Strider and Lady Love, yeah.
Yeah, Lady Love.
But basically it's the same 4 ships that were unlocked, that needed passwords from R-Type Final 1.
Yeah.
But, and as I said, either we don't have the passwords yet, or they haven't been patched in, essentially. But, yeah, I'm going to give it a chance and wait to see what the next patches bring, whether that changes my opinion on it, because I put like 20, 30 odd hours into R-Type Final 1, and with this I've gone through each of the 3 or 4 paths, I think it is, and I kind of feel like I've seen everything the game has to offer. I don't have the same kind of drive to unlock everything that I did.
I imagine I probably have more of a drive to do just because I never like invested in R-Type Final, the original, and just because I kind of don't like how just like some of the stages look and just the way they pace themselves is the thing.
Yeah, there was one towards the end of in the first one where you had to do very, very careful weaving around. I can't remember. I think it was there was a whole load of invulnerable ships or hazards, and you had to do very tight, very precise dodging between everything. And if you lost, and it was right before the boss, and if you died at that point, then the boss was hell.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
So for stuff like that, it definitely could have used some better balancing. But at the moment, I would rate Final higher than Final 2. That might just be me, though.
Yeah. Oh, well. I'll probably still get the Final 2 anyway, just because I think, you know, much like with a lot of things, I think that would be a very good, like, stream game for me to just, like, go through. Because it's like,
Oh, yeah.
And at the very least, it's like, I played enough of the demo to know that, okay, if there's one ship I'm going to stick with for, like, most of my grinding through the campaign to, like, unlock, to get materials for unlocking ships, it's going to be, like, the one that's, like, the predecessor to, like, the Tentacle Force ships, you know? Because, like, one of the 3 starting ones, I think it's called the Andromalis. It's like... Andromalies, yeah, because it's like the orange one with like the 2 prongs on the top and bottom that hold the force in place. And it's like, I found myself really loving just the fact that like that particular force, when you let it go and just hold the auto fire button, it just flies around and homes in on any target.
The upgrade to that, the first actual unlock after that is the Albatross, which is the same one from Delta.
Yeah, the RX. That's definitely...
It is ungodly powerful.
Yeah.
Especially when, like, letting the Force do its homing thing. It's more like not only do the shots do a ridiculous amount of damage, but it also, when it homes in on things, it does just as much as it did in Delta. And it's like watching a really lethal puppy nuzzling up against things.
Yeah, because it's just like the thing with the Force is that like it arguably does more damage just by coming into physical contact than it does actually shooting enemies, because every frame does tick damage.
Yeah, well, it's basically because I think the Andromalius, when it's fully powered, the Force fires 3 shots.
Yeah.
The Albatross fires 4, and they all feel a bit more powerful, so it's doing practically double damage.
Man.
Like, I was easily able to get through, I want to say, like, the first 4 stages without losing a life.
Interesting, yeah.
I think it's the 4th stage that is a complete bastard, though. It's the first proper organic stage, and I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I was just like, nope, do not like this stage. It is like the worst organic stage from any R-Type game I've played. But, you know, I'm determined to get good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does look pretty solid in terms of like visuals and such. It feels nice just kind of looking at it, that it's like, at least this is another crowdfunding game that like at the bare minimum manages to like, you know, not be like a pile of broken promises or some other disaster, you know?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a game which has achieved all that it set out to do.
Yeah. Even if like what it sets out to do you could describe as being fairly modest.
Yeah, I'd say like it's a solid 7 out of 10 game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like no one's going to say it's game of the year, but you know, you pick it up for $20, you have a good time.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, it's 40, I guess, for the time being.
Yeah, I would hesitate to pay full price, but if you can get it for like 20, 25, definitely pick it up.
Yeah. Or just choose to go the quote legally acquired route, I guess.
Yes, methods of acquirement of dubious legality.
Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Not that
I mean, sooner or later I'd probably have to buy legit anyway, because I do want that stage pass, because they are remaking, like, they're choosing highlights from, like, scenes that come from, like, each of the different games. Like that stage pass already has stages from R-Type 3 and Leo. And 3's, the one they chose for 3 is, like, extra devious. Because it's that stupid, like, laser corridor maze thing. Which I think the one saving grace of that is that they actually do some amount of highlighting. Okay, this is a line that shows that the laser is about to fire and where it's gonna go. Because I think in R-Type 3 it just did not do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's the only. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, the only niceties that stage has, because it is every bit as bad as you remember.
Yeah, it's just as much of a pain in the dick.
Yeah, like I hated that stage in R-Type, as everyone did. And yeah, no, they've not made it any easier, not in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, seriously, just what am I missing with this Protector Z smile? Because I'm pretty sure it had to have been Mask. If it's just pumping with enough grenades that it goes down, I am gonna be pissed.
Okay, Protector Z smiles, blah. However, Mask D. Smith can easily kill them by using shock shells against them.
Shock shells?
No.
Unless, oh well, he just disappeared. Oh no, he's spawning again. Maybe it's just one charge. Oh, it is. Okay, that explains it. I was going, like, for the double charge and not... Oh, god damn it. Right, okay, so I think maybe that, because there's, like, Protector ZZ Smile, like, double Zeta, rather.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason. Smith can slip in. Oh, yeah. Here's the other moment where they're like, oh, yeah, we have Kevin Smith. We should use him for something.
Well, I mean, we've already... copywritten the name Killer7, we can't really downgrade it to 6.
Yeah.
For all the good that, like, even with, you know, the fact that he has perfect accuracy, you have no reason to use him when you don't need to.
Wait, you do not have what it takes to enter. Oh, okay, my mistake. That the thing with Kevin is later. This is, you still have to use Mask.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Con's wearing a mask too. He should be able to get in.
I guess, I don't know. But it's like, man, I'm just getting all of my character-specific puzzles mixed up. The rest of the locks are for the kids. Okay?
Man, this is the worst sex dungeon ever. No, wait.
Wait, this is an amusement park.
Okay, it's the third worst.
Oh.
Good thing you're playing as Mask, because that barely bothered him.
Yeah, still need to use blood, though.
Okay, that one might have annoyed.
Yeah, so, Now for the dumbest character-specific requirement ever. A hole that, like, probably goes up to, like, everyone's, like, waist.
And he just does a special scooty scoot.
I think it would have been more hilarious if, like, instead of doing that little tuck and roll at the end, he just, like, scooted his feet very quickly, so it's just like something something that would have, like, a weird god hand energy to it. Where it's just character trying to act cool in its own way before just kind of laming it out right at the last minute.
See, I'm just picturing, like, Dan or Kaide trying to go under it. Stupid goddamn fucking kids.
Okay. At least I caught that one. Okay, so where are we coming up on? Yeah.
Coming up in 3.5 hours.
Yeah, so I think once we're out of this funhouse area, which I think will put us not too far away from, like, Ayami Blackburn, but I don't feel like fighting her for right now. We'll just get out of this funhouse, get to the save point, and then we'll save that for a bit later.
Oh yeah, you need to use Kaide for that.
Okay, but I wanted to say there was also a way that you could go about just blowing the whole thing up without it to circumvent if you were using mask, but I might be.
You also got cut on her side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a second too late on the counter.
Oh wait, maybe it's something where like I have to first activate it by going to the door. Start. Lucha Libre wrestlers do not have time for you puny mice.
Mask smash, puny mice.
Yep, like that. Yep. I'm glad I remembered that because I always felt that that was the most hilarious kind of like alternate solution to this puzzle. Because you can just shoot all of the mice individually, but it's like, no, that's for chumps.
Huh, I learned something today.
I think with this I gotta use water. Yep, absolutely.
Ah, they're really making you work for this.
Yeah, seems that way.
That's like 2 puzzles back to back.
There we go. Yeah, you definitely need to use like the grenade splash damage to have a hope of stopping like these broken smiles.
I guess.
Yes, this is a real amusement park. They do have artificial lava. Oh yeah, the ceramic smile. Yeah, that's
laser guy?
No, not the laser. It's one that's like specific only to this because it requires the room to be in a certain way for it to work. It's the one where it's like you have to basically get him to run through one run a circle, but then like aim at him when he's about to complete the loop and then shoot him before he turns around because you kind of have to. Again, I keep forgetting, but there are micro smiles.
I'll probably remember when I see it.
Yeah, it's through here. Here's something that we can use Kaide for, at least.
Because the one I remember is the laser smile, because I kept ducking his insta-kill attack and then being like, there we go.
Yeah. That's it. Yes, that is definitely it. This at least is a kind of puzzle that feels at least very natural to the sort of stuff you would typically be engaging with in this game, which is shooting.
I did not remember this section at all.
Yeah, like I weirdly enough do, just because I feel that's kind of the benefit of having an amusement park type setting. It kind of gives you a bit more free reign to kind of come up with these sort of weirder sections. Okay, so, yeah, we gotta go in spinny, I believe it is. Yes, this is it.
ID in the spinny.
That's the ceramic smile. You see that heart?
Yeah.
So you gotta get him, like, at least close enough. There, like so.
Okay.
And that's admittedly the kind of situation where it's like that can either go very quickly or very poorly because of just not even so much from him running into you, but just missing your shot and having to keep doing this whole loop constantly until you get it right.
Okay, I remember this bit with Dan getting the demon gun.
Yep. And the soul shell.
Because I remember she has hollow eyes, so I was like, okay, so does that mean that he actually killed her? Like, the implications there are interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's fair now that we got, with this being Dan's specific chapter, that we're right back to, getting some goodies for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mask gets all the fun.
Yeah. Yeah, of course he gets all the fun. He's the main event.
This is too easy.
Ooh, just barely dodged that explosion.
That was a close one.
And somehow got that weak point, even though I was clearly aiming at his upper arm and not the elbow joints.
Yeah, I guess it must have been because of the double tap.
Double tap, or combined with my critical upgrades, because I've put a few upgrades into Dan already. Let's see how much more serum I can get. This has got to break the machine at some point.
Because I think most of the smiles you fight in this stage are special ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you wind up getting more blood than most other stages.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, or am I?
What?
What did you say?
Okay then.
What did you say?
Yes, and it's I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I've got enough for Mask at the moment. Same for Dan, because I can only really.
Anything, or am I?
Because 3 feels pretty good for that. Same for Kaide. I might as well just dump the rest into Coyote for the time being. Yeah, foot lock on, the most useful. Okay.
No one can accuse Coyote of having unique skills.
I mean, we mentioned... Yeah, I mean, admittedly, we kind of mentioned that Coyote Smith, from his design and name, feels like the sort of character that'd be in a Robert Rodriguez film. But I think that could also very much as well go towards Quentin Tarantino, because, well, feet.
Enough said, really.
Yeah, that's kind of just whatever. So yeah, we finished Sunset, did Cloudman, and now we are near the end of the first half of Encounter, which I'm kind of already at my limit as far as how much more I want to play. I feel like I'll next week we'll just get out of the way that first fight with Ayame, and then start working towards the remaining half of this game, which I do believe is yeah, I forget if after Encounter the chapter that follows triggers the next the switch to disc 2, or if that's even later after that. Because regardless of even when you have multi-disc games, it was never always evenly split in terms of the amount of content and time you'd spend on it,
Yeah.
RE4's disc change happens after you beat Act 4, and there's only 5 of them. But yeah, this was a good time.
Yep.
Oh man. So yeah, we'll be back at this again for next Wednesday, just because that's that's really the best time we got to kind of schedule these sort of things these days.
Yep, same Mask time, same Mask channel.
Yep, all that stuff. Oh yeah, and I guess also just one extra thing, because I mentioned briefly, I think during the last stream, that I had been working towards getting a VTuber avatar, because I kind of wanted to have that be the sort of the next upgrade for this stream and kind of how I present it, because I've already done a bit of streamlining and updating how the overlays on this work. And I've already been using my default avatar as the sort of placeholder for that until then. But that thing's actually technically all ready to go as far as the design and the rig. It's just that funny story, it actually ended up getting finished a week before I had estimated that it was going to. And with yeah, but I kind of don't want to start using it right away until we finish this, which means it's probably not going to be until around the start of June that you start noticing a very big difference on this stream. Because even then, it was like, I was originally estimating with this killer7 playthrough that I was like, yeah, we could probably get this done in like 3 streams, I guess. Except that first stream, we only got through the first half of Sunset. Because it was like, I was thinking we'd get through like 3 chapters more or less, but it was more like 2, and this was like 2 and 7/8, I guess. I don't know. So it's just kind of all over the place, but we'll figure out as it gets closer to the end of May on that front. Like when I decide to like just switch over to that avatar, and also what I decide to play in order to sort of break that thing in, because I still got a bunch of other Ecovanias to get through, among other games after this that I do want to play that are easy to do with the systems I currently have in my possession. Okay, so outside of that, see you for next week then.
Later, all.
See ya.